It's Yankee warm-up time. From Bond Clothes, America's largest clothier. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Marv Albert, and it is hard to believe that this is the finale of the '68 baseball season. Regular season concludes today. This our final warm-up program. Couple of days of rest coming up for both the Cardinals and Tigers, and on Wednesday, the spotlight moves to St. Louis, game number 1 of the 1968 World Series. And where has all that time gone? Another big season of Yankee baseball drawing to a close, and Bonds, America's largest clothier, has been delighted to bring you the Yankee warm-up. It's been quite a year. Mickey Mantle's 535th home run, the Yankee 10-game winning streak, one of the highlights of the season. Mel Stottlemyre's 21 wins. Baseball and Bonds, a terrific combination. And fashion excitement is in season all year long at Bonds' 17 conveniently located metropolitan stores. See department after department of fresh fashions for every member of your family, suavely shaped by Bonds' own exacting tailors. Sports coats and blazers that really make you come alive as never before. And with Bonds' low maker-to-you prices, it will cost you amazingly little to look like a fashion winner. Normal alterations are free, no down payment, take many months to pay. Lead the fashion circuit this fall and winter by doing your shopping right now at Bonds, and you'll have it made, very well made. This afternoon at Fenway Park in Boston, the Yanks and the Red Sox. The Sox took the first of the series 12-2 on Friday night. Yesterday, the Yankees came from behind to win 4-3. Another tremendous performance by Lindy McDaniel. He came on from Mel Stottlemyre in the 7th inning. Faced 9 men, and he got them all. The Sox led 3-2 going to the 8th inning. Andy Cosco's 15th home run tied it. And then in the 9th, Joe Pepitone came through with the big blow. Here's how the Yankees won it. Here's the play-by-play of Frank Messer.
Delivery. High fly ball out into deep right field. Back goes Thomas, back to the wall. This one is going. It is gone. A home run in the seats for Pepitone.
And for Joe, number 15 on the year, it gave the Yanks the 4-3 win, setting up 2 battles on this final day of the season. The battle for 5th place between the Yanks and the A's, and the fight for 3rd between the Red Sox and the Indians. Now, if the Red Sox win, they'll finish a half game over the Indians. If they lose, they'll finish 4th, a half game behind the Indians. The Indians will wind up the season with 161 games. They actually have already wound up because of a rainout that could not be made up. The Indians finished their season on Friday night, so that is it, and all depends on what the Red Sox do this afternoon. And the scheduled pitchers for the Yankees: Stan Bonson, Stan with a record of 16 up, 12 down, and for the Sox, Ray Culp, and Ray has had quite a season. His record is 16-5. His last 4 outings have been shutouts. He has pitched 39 consecutive scoreless innings. If he can blank the Yankees, he will tie the American League record of 5 shutouts in a row. It was set back in 1904 by Doc White of the Chicago White Sox. The Major League record set this year by Don Drysdale, who posted 6 straight shutouts against National League batters, and Don ran his consecutive scoreless inning streak to 58 before giving up a run. Last week, Culp one-hit the Yanks. The only hit, a first-inning single by Mickey Mantle, and Ray Culp, along with Dick Ellsworth, 2 of the biggest steals of the year, both pulled off by Red Sox general manager Dick O'Connell. So it should be Culp and Bonson. All the play-by-play is coming up in about 15 minutes right here on WHN, and in just a moment, we'll be talking with Yankee general manager Lee McPhail. Are somewhat different from a year ago at this time when you came on the warm-up and evaluated the 1967 season.
Well, yes, we made a little progress, Marv. I think it was a very satisfactory year when you consider everything, particularly the progress made by some of our younger players.
I don't think there's any question about the fact that the Yankees, in many respects, have been a big surprise. There's no question about it. You're going to finish over the 500 mark. As you look to next year, what are your hopes?
Well, we just hope that we can continue to improve. That's been the path that we tried to chart for ourselves, just to improve a little bit each year and keep closing in on the leaders. And, of course, next year we'll be playing in the Eastern Division, and our job will be to get up with clubs like Boston and Baltimore and Detroit and Cleveland. And That's a tall order, but I think that we'll be a little better next year than we were this year.
Ralph Houck mentioned the other day that the protective list is just about set. What about the possibilities of trades before the expansion draft? Is there anything brewing right now?
No, there isn't, Marvin. At least from our point of view, I would doubt very much if there would be any trades prior to the expansion draft. Now, after the draft, there might be the possibility of some trades, and of course, the major time for trades is at the winter meetings at the end of November and early December.
Lee, what to you was the biggest Yankee plus of 1968?
Well, I'd say without question it was the way our young players really came through for us, and by young players I mean the Roy Whites and the Bill Robinsons and Bobby Cox, Stan Bonson, and Andy Costco. I think we can put the same category at age 26. They're the boys. They're coming along is what really made this a better ball club.
How about the turning point of the season? Would you say the trade for Lindy McDaniel?
Well, really, I suppose it was. That's the thing that we were getting beat in those close ball games. We were losing a lot of them in the bullpen. Dooley Womack had been having a little arm trouble. Some of the other arms weren't just quite right, and we were losing games that we had won, and we were letting them slip away. When Lindy came over, we started winning those games, and that was just the difference between playing on the plus side and playing on the negative side.
Actually, just about every move has gone right. Andy Costco has been a plus. Bobby Cox has been a plus. Bill Robinson has certainly been a major factor.
Right. We've been fortunate. We've been a little lucky. You're not always that lucky.
Yeah.
So I think we should count our blessings when they occur.
How about the biggest minus?
Well, of course, I guess Al Downing has to be. I mean, Al's been troubled all year with the arm problem, and it's left our fourth starting position somewhat up in the air. Steve Barber did a good job for us over a period, but it hasn't been the same as if Al had been there. And if he had been there and been himself, we would have had perhaps 5 good starters, and that's really probably what you need. Certainly you need 4, and it always helps to have that good 5th one.
Without giving any information away, would you say, be it either way it ends up, that Al Downing, or the decision on Downing in regard to the expansion draft, was the toughest that you've had to make out of all the players involved?
Well, there are quite a few tough ones, Marv, really, and we have changed back and forth a few times in the course of the season because, as you know, we started making these lists out or started contemplating what our list would be early in the season. So there have been quite a few tough problems to decide just which way we would go. And it's not just the 15. It's really the more difficult problem is deciding what order you're going to make the withdrawals after they start selecting from you.
Right, in other words, once a guy is picked and the club is allowed to take 3 more back, it becomes a guessing game.
Which 3 are we going to take off?
I know there was not much of an opportunity to see him in action. 1 bat appearance, a couple of innings in the field, and a home run hitting contest was the extent of it. But what has been the feeling about Tony Solita?
We like very much what we've seen. I think you have to like any boy's potential that has the kind of year that Tony had. And he is so young, and he does have that real fine power that, you know, Marv, one big problem you have in this game is it's not so difficult to get pretty good players to fill all the holes, but the tough thing is to come up with a star who can really carry your ball club for you. And that's what we're looking for, and we have hopes that maybe Tony someday could be that offensive star for us.
Lee, thank you very much, and let me say also thank you for all your help throughout the year. I know the fans enjoyed your taking the hot seat every 2 weeks on the warm-up. Sometimes things got very hot, and we appreciate it.
I've enjoyed chatting with you and through you to our fans, and again, I'd just like to express our appreciation of the club, the management, and all our players for the wonderful way the fans have supported us again this year.
Yankee General Manager Lee MacPhail, and it has been a very nice year for Lee. Well, as we mentioned before, Bonds has exciting. Boston, the Yankees, and the Red Sox are just about set for baseball. Baseball and Bonds, a terrific combination. And fashion excitement is in season all year round at Bond's 17 conveniently located stores in the metropolitan area. Visit your nearest store and outfit your entire family in the smartest styles, outstanding selections, courteous service, low maker-to-you prices. That's the Bond story. It is as simple as ABC, America's biggest clothier. And let me say, it has been a most enjoyable season for us here at WHN Sports, and I would like to express special thanks to the New York Yankees for all their help throughout the year. People such as Mike Burke and Lee McPhail, Ralph Houck, Howard Burke, Bob Fischel, Bill Guilfoyle, Bill Kane, Sandy Alper, Phil Rizzuto, Jerry Coleman, and Frank Messer. Here at the station, Bob Meyer, the people who helped put the show on the air, the folks at Bond Clothes, and most of all, thank you so much for tuning in right throughout the year. And for the finale that is coming up, Ray Culp and Stan Bonson getting set. We'll be back after the game with the complete wrap-up on the scoreboard. Until then, Marv Albert, WHN Sports. Yankee warm-up time. From Bond Clothes, America's largest clothier.
On WHN.
From Fenway Park in Boston, it's New York Yankee baseball. And today, the Yankees take on the Boston Red Sox, the final game of the 1968 season. The game today brought to you by the G. Kruger Brewing Company of Cranston, Rhode Island, brewers of light, refreshing Kruger Pilsner, the beer that's brewed slowly, just a little at a time, to make it the world's most perfect beer. And by Atlantic Imperial, the gasoline that cleans your carburetor throttle plate and keeps it clean. Hi, everybody. Jerry Coleman here, along with Phil Rizzuto and Frank Messer for this final game of the 1968 season. And welcome for the last time to New York Yankee baseball. We'll be on hand to bring you all the action. The field right now is bare. Nobody working. The pitchers are warming up in their respective bullpens. And we'll be along with the starting lineups right after this message. Well, it's been a long and pleasant season as far as the New York Yankees are concerned. Long, and that at times it looked as though the Yankees were going to have a rather rugged year. But midway in this 1968 campaign, they hitched up their britches, tightened their belts, and took off. And as it stands right now, the Yankees are tied for 5th place with the Oakland A's. Both teams have a record of 82 and 79. Both teams playing their final games here today. The Yankees in Oakland, the Oakland A's. So you can see how it will stand. If the Yankees win, they're assured of a tie. If they lose, they can still tie, pending the outcome of the game on the West Coast. If Oakland wins, the Yankees lose. Oakland is 5th, the Yankees are 6th. If it's a turnabout, then the Yankees become 5th and Oakland 6th. We'll know in about 2.5 hours on this end and in about 5 hours from the West Coast. Yes, sir, a big day for the New York Yankees and for baseball as far as these two ball clubs are concerned. The Boston Red Sox right now in a dead heat for 3rd place with the Cleveland Indians. The Indians have concluded their schedule. It's very simple for the Red Sox. If they win, they're 3rd. If they lose today, they're 4th. And as we mentioned before, the Yankees winning or losing will depend on where they finish as to the outcome of the game on the West Coast between Oakland and Minnesota. Incidentally, those scores, yesterday, it was the Yankees 4, the Red Sox 3. Senators beat Detroit 2-1. Dennis McLain went 7 innings, pitched shutout ball, but then Don McMahon coming on gave up a couple of runs in the 9th inning, and McLain was not able to come up with that 32nd win of the year. Senators beating Detroit 2-1. California shut out the White Sox 1-0, and Oakland 7, Minnesota 1. In the National League, the Mets beat the Phillies 3-1. Houston beat the Cardinals 3-2. Cubs 4, Pirates 3. The Dodgers 4 and the Braves 2. San Francisco 10 and Cincinnati 4. There's quite a story going on in the National League. And it's between Matty Alou and Pete Rose. Yesterday, Pete Rose went 5 for 5. And would you believe it? Matty Alou went 4 for 4. And as they stand right now, Rose leads Alou by 1 point in this final day of the 1968 pennant race. And the final day to decide who will be the National League batting champ. Over in the American League, Carl Yastrzemski has it wrapped up. He comes into this ball game batting at .303. And Yastrzemski can go 0 for 6 today and still be a 300 hitter. But unless he comes up with 4 points on his batting average, he'll be the lowest batting leader in the American League since Elmer Flick did it back in 1905 with a .306 batting average. So a lot of things are on the line. And an interesting day. We're still waiting for the players to come out, but before they do, it's New York Yankee baseball. Let's pause for station identification.
It pays to listen to Jim Abici tomorrow from 10 to 2 and share in Jim's jackpot of $10,000 in prizes here at WHN 1050, New York.
Well, you hear the boo as the umpires come out of the Red Sox dugout. You know, it's been quite a year, really. And a lot of people have been behind this surge of the Yankees. Lee McPhail certainly deserves a lot of credit, the Yankees general manager. Johnny Johnson, the farm director, and his 2 assistants, George Pfister and Bill Harbor. They've worked hard. Mike Burke right on top of the list, changing the image of the Yankees and giving Lee McPhail a free hand in the baseball department. The Yankees have had a successful year all the way around. They're pleased with their attendance, they're pleased with their fans, and certainly they're pleased with the jump that they've made in the standings. And this, as far as they're concerned, is a good foothold to begin the 1969 campaign. Many other people are responsible for the things that go on behind the scenes. Bob Fischel, in charge of public relations, his assistant Bill Guilfoyle, and our own Bill Kane, who takes care of us on a daily basis, never misses a game, and keeps us posted on all the action that's going on in both leagues and the vital little notes that we bring you from time to time. Sandy Alper, the engineer for us, who keeps the voice control going. You know, Sandy just doesn't sit up there and turn knobs. He's got a lot of things to do. He's got to set the lines. He's a crack engineer. He knows all about electricity. And when you hear us, it's because Sandy Alper, who is actually an employee of WHN, keeps us coming over loud and clear. On the TV side, Jack Murphy, Don Carney, and Jimmy Hunter, invaluable people, and all of the TV crew over there at the stadium, bringing you the games that I know that you enjoy seeing on a daily basis at Yankee Stadium. So those are just some of the people. We should mention Chuck Milton, our producer through most of the year, and the man who succeeded him, Neil Farber. So the Red Sox take the field. John Stevens, the umpire behind the plate. Bill Kunkel at first. Jim Honachek at second. Jake O'Donnell at third. Ray Culp, the right-hander, heading for the mound. He's going up against Stan Bonson. Both pitchers going for their 17th, and right now our national anthem. 68 campaign, we've got another man we'd like to throw in here, Jerry Mabley of Sports Network, who keeps you posted on our radio network throughout the entire season. And there will be others we'll mention as this game gets underway. But right now, the starting lineup for the Yankees, Horace Clarke leading off at second. Gibbs batting second, doing the catching. Pepitone in center, hitting third. White in left, batting cleanup. Costco playing first base. He's batting fifth. Mickey Mantle is not here today. He's got a puffed knee and a bad ankle, and he will not play. In fact, he is not with the ball club. Tommy Tresh at shortstop. Tresh batting sixth. Bill Robinson in right field, hitting seventh. Bobby Cox at third, batting eighth. Stan Bonson pitching and batting ninth. For the Boston Red Sox, Mike Andrews at second. Dalton Jones at first. Carl Yastrzemski in left field, batting third. Ken Harrelson, who was thrown out yesterday. Harrelson in right field, batting cleanup. Reggie Smith in center, batting fifth. Joe Foy, the third baseman, hitting sixth. Rico Petrocelli at short, batting seventh. The catcher is Russ Gibson. He'll hit eighth. Pitching and batting ninth, Ray Culp. And now Horace Clarke comes on, and Culp has quite a record against the Yankees. He's 2-0 and has not given up a run to the Yankees this year. Ray Culp, 16-5. Yes, sir. What a job he's done. He's got a chance to crack a couple of records and tie one. We'll tell you about those as the game goes on. Clarke is almost hit by the first pitch, ball one, and the action is underway. Final day of the 1968 campaign. Third place on the line for the Red Sox. A first division finish on the line for the Yankees. Foy well in at third base. Culp delivers. There's one that may drop and left. Yastrzemski. Did he get it? No, he didn't get it. Carl Yastrzemski attempted a rolling, running catch and couldn't come up with it. And Clarke opens up the ball game with a bloop single to left. Jake Gibbs stepping in. Clarke, as this game got underway, is hitting at .228. And here's Gibbs, a .213 batter. Clarke with 17 stolen bases. Ray Culp sets, delivers. Gibbs, a line drive over Andrews' head into right center. Horace Clarke will go to third base, and holding at first is Gibbs. So boom, boom, and the Yankees are off and running. Runners at first and third, nobody out, and the batter, Joe Pepitone. Ray Culp has 4 consecutive shutouts and 39 consecutive scoreless innings. Today, he can set an all-time Red Sox record. The record was set by Cy Young in 1904. He had 45 2/3 scoreless innings. But right now, it doesn't look as though Culp's going to get that scoreless streak or the shutout, the way the Yankees are going. Nobody out, runners at first and third. Culp sets, delivers, and Pepitone takes a curve inside. Strike one. On that corner, Pepe thought it was off the plate, turned around and said something to John Stevens, to no avail. The Yankees want this one. The Red Sox want it. Culp again to Pepitone. Well hit down the right side and just foul. And I mean not by much. 2 feet foul down the line in right field. All it will take is a long fly ball, and all of Culp's records will go up in smoke, or a chance for records anyway. If he pitches a 5th consecutive shutout, he'll tie an American League record set in 1904 by Doc White. Drysdale had 6 consecutive shutouts this year with the Dodgers. Pepe takes strike 3 and walks away. Culp slips a fastball by Joe Pepitone, and he knew it. A big pitch, and now Roy White. Pepitone was batting at .245 before being called out on strikes. And here's the Yankees' leading hitter, Roy White. He's at .268. Leads the Yankees in just about everything. Base hits 154, doubles 20, triples 7. White takes low, ball one. He's one behind Mantle in the home run derby. He's got 17. Mickey has 18. Leads the club in RBIs with 60. Stolen bases with 20. So Roy White has had, well, it has to be termed an outstanding year as far as the Yankees are concerned. He's a switch hitter from the left side facing the right-handed Ray Culp. Runners at first and third. The pitch. In there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Culp will have to hitch up his belt on this one. Runners at first and third, nobody out. He struck out Pepitone, and now he's got White. White up there, 1 ball, 1 strike. Culp sets. Here's the next one. Swung on and missed. Strike 2. Petrocelli and Andrews at double play depth. Foy is in tight. I believe if the ball is hit to him, unless it's a very sharp one-hopper, he'll come to the plate to cut down Clark. Here's the 1-2 delivery in the air, and I believe it's going to be the shutout, and yes, it is. Harrelson back in right field. Here comes Clark. Gibbs goes to second. The Yankees lead 1-0, and Ray Culp and his 39 consecutive scoreless inning streak goes by the board, as well as his quest for his 5th successive shutout. A sacrifice fly by Roy White to right field drives in a run. Forrest Clark coming in to score, and for White, his 61st RBI of the year. That drove Harrelson back to the running track. So it's all over as far as the scoreless inning string and the shutouts are concerned for Ray Culp. The Yankees lead 1-0. Here's Andy Costco. We're in the top of the first. Was over in a hurry. Costco batting .238, 15 home runs, 58 RBIs. Gibbs at second. The pitch by Culp is a curve that breaks in there for strike 1. The next one by Culp to Costco is outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. It's rather a breezy day, and we've got a packed house, absolutely jammed to the rafters. The Red Sox have drawn 1,905,379. That's a new paid attendance record. They should go about 1,938,000. There's a wild pitch that gets away from the catcher and bounces into the stands. Over to third base is Jake Gibbs. 2 balls and 1 strike. Ray Culp trailing top of the first inning, as are the Red Sox. 1-0. Yanks leading. Jim Turner is coaching at first base. Frank Crissetti at third. Whitey Ford being given the day off on this final day of the 1968 campaign. Costco takes high on a fastball that misses. 3 balls and 1 strike. 2 outs. Gibbs at third. Culp into the windup. The next one is swung on a miss. The curveball, 3-2. On deck, Tommy Tresh. Andy Costco playing in place of Mickey Mantle. The payoff pitch coming on. Fouled off. Hard to believe that it's been almost 6 months since the Yankees got underway and played their first game. It was back in the first week of March, around the 7th, 8th, or 9th. I'm not sure exactly when. And here we are, closing up the 68 campaign. Here's the payoff pitch. Costco swings and misses and struck out. So the sacrifice fly by Roy White gives the Yankees a run. It's 1 run on 2 hits, 1 left. The score after a half inning of play. The Yankees won. Red Sox coming to bat. Well, you know, Christmas, when you think about it, today being September the 29th, just about 3 months off, not too far away if you're thinking about what are you going to get for your youngsters You know, the kids, say between 10 and 20 that are living at home, going to school, I can't think of a better gift than Yankee Christmas tickets. A great gift for the youngsters. They can keep them, use them all through the year, pick the dates they want, the big games they want. A wonderful way to make your youngster happy, boys and girls alike. They can select any seat in any price range and keep them all winter long so they can be ahead of the game. Why not get in touch with the ticket department at Yankee Stadium for a Christmas gift certificate, a Yankee Xmas gift certificate, and give them to your youngsters this Christmas. Well, as we go into the bottom of the first inning with the Yankees leading 1-0, a couple other people we'd like to talk about. Jackie Farrell, wonderful little guy who's the director of the Speakers Bureau at Yankee Stadium. He's given us a lot of help through the season. And how about those two wonderful men who handle the tickets? Jimmy Gleason and Mike Grandine. George Stallings, the stadium superintendent. The Colonel. Great job he does every year, and under sometimes a great deal of duress. And the guy who writes the checks, Bob Pomerton. He's my favorite of all. Yes, sir. Bob Pomerton takes care of us. And our vice president in charge of special projects, Howard Burke. Anytime something happens at Yankee Stadium that nobody knows about, it always ends up on Howard's desk, and he does a yeoman job in getting things straightened out. So a few more people we're indebted to for the fine season. Here is Mike Andrews as we go into the bottom of the first with the Yankees leading 1-0, and Stan Bonson shooting for that 17th, drills a fastball in there, strike one. Mike Andrews having a fine year, batting .271, 7 home runs, 45 RBIs, long and lean, developing into a fine second baseman. Swings and fouls this one back off the mask of the plate umpire, John Stevens. What a shot he had at that. No balls and 2 strikes. Incidentally, this program, brought to you in cooperation with Sports Network, is authorized under rights granted by the New York Yankees solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, or other use of the descriptions and accounts of this game without the express consent of the New York Yankees is prohibited. Stan Bonson out in front of Mike Andrews, the leadoff batter. The 0-2 pitch hit on the ground to Horace Clarke at second base, who gobbles it up, flips it over to Andy Costco. One away. Another man that we're indebted to for the job that he's done, and he's behind the scenes, but our immediate boss, the vice president in charge of sales and broadcast affairs, Thomas Miller, keeps us on our toes. Here's Dalton Jones. He takes outside, ball one. This last day of 1968. Yankees tied for 5th, trying to stay in 5th. Jones takes a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bonson to Jones, on the ground, just foul on the right side. One other man I've got to mention before we close this particular part of the program out is Bruce Henry, our traveling secretary, who day in and day out has more headaches than most of us put together. Rooms, reservations, trips, travel. Quite a job, and Bruce does it with a smile, and one of the outstanding traveling secretaries in the business. Here's a foul just in and out of the TV booth. Almost hit Phil Rizzuto in the head. Oh, ho. Yo, ho, ho, I should say. Wow. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on a missed, and Jones is out of there. A good changeup by Stan Bonson. Carl Yastrzemski. Batting at .303, he has clinched his third American League batting title. His previous championships last year, .326, and in '63 at .321. So he has come up with back-to-back batting titles. Swings and misses, strike one. Carl has to go 3 for 4, at least 3 for 4, to bat .307 and take the stigma away of being the lowest batting average ever to win an American League championship. Elmer Flick, as we mentioned before, has the lowest to this point back in 1905 at .306. Yastrzemski, strike two. Carl Yastrzemski, 23 home runs, 74 RBIs. From the left side, holds the bat high, 2 outs, nobody on. Yanks leading 1-0. Bonson fires, ground ball, foul. Costco comes up with it and then flips it back to Bonson. Gibbs behind the plate, Costco at first, Clark at second, Tresh at short, Bobby Cox at third. In the outfield and left, Roy White, Pepitone in center, Bill Robinson in right. And the two pitchers both shooting for their 17th. Bonson ready, delivers again to Yastrzemski, low, 1 ball, 2 strikes. There's quite a note on this Red Sox sheet here. We'll throw it your way in just a moment. The 1-2 pitch on the ground. Tresh moving to his right is up with it. Fires in time, and Yastrzemski is out of there. 3 up and 3 down. The score after 1 full inning of play. The Yankees lead the Red Sox 1-0.
Some people seem to think you can judge a beer by how much the brewery can turn out. Well, let me tell you, when it comes to beer, don't play the numbers game. Try them all. Then let your own taste tell you who the winner is. But whatever you do, be sure one of the beers you try is Kruger Pilsner. Then I'm sure you'll come to the same decision I did. And you'll be keeping your refrigerator stocked with Kruger Pilsner like I do. Let me warn you, though, you're not going to walk into just any store and find Kruger Pilsner. You'll have to do a little looking. That's because the Kruger Pilsner brewers are a little old-fashioned. Their philosophy is quality, not quantity. They want to keep every drop of Kruger Pilsner they make under close control, because that's the only way to brew a truly balanced beer, a perfect beer, a beer with just the right lightness and a flavor that keeps you coming back for more. Now, not everybody appreciates that kind of thinking these days, but then the Kruger brewers don't make their Pilsner for everybody, just for people who insist on perfect beer.
Well, they've got quite a note on this sheet from the press notes of the Red Sox. It says, probable pitchers for Tuesday, April the 8th, 1969 of Baltimore. For Boston, Ray Culp, and for the Orioles, Dave McNally. Tommy Tresh hits a one-hopper to the first baseman, Dalton Jones, and we've got one away. Tresh came into this game batting at 196. He's 0 for 1 now. Here's Bill Robinson batting 237. So at least we know that the Red Sox and the Orioles will open up next year in Baltimore. And the opening day will be April the 8th. Here's Bill Robinson. He takes strike one. Robbie has taken over as the regular right fielder for the Yankees. Fine arm and suddenly developing into the ball player they expected for so long. Swings and misses, strike two, a curveball. Yankees lead 1-0. Top of the second inning. Single by Clark, a single by Gibbs, sacrifice fly by White. Robbie takes outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bill Robinson, straight up and down stance, chokes up a little from the right side. Slightly closed, waiting. Culp fires, fastball, it misses. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Defense about straight away for Robinson. The outfield back. Yastrzemski, of course, only goes back so far and left with that short fence. Now Ray Culp decides he wants to rub up the ball, walks completely off the mound, back on the grass, does the job, and then heads for the pitcher's mound, and he's waiting right now to get the sign. The 2-2 pitch. On the ground, into left field, a base hit. Bill Robinson getting one past the glove of Joe Foy for a single. That's the third hit off Culp. Bobby Cox stepping in. Bobby Cox batting at .230. Waiting. Culp delivers a strike. Cox started a bunt and pulled his bat back. Bobby Cox has an even 100 hits in 434 at-bats. 15 doubles, 7 homers, 41 RBIs. Backs him away a little this time on a fastball by Ray Culp. 1 ball, 1 strike. On deck, Stan Bonson. Second inning, Yankees leading 1-0. Packed house. Rather a brisk day. Not too much wind at this moment. The 1-1 delivery. High in the air on the right side. Waiting for it, Ken Harrelson, and he one-hands it as he does everything. 2 down. Ken Harrelson, the right fielder, coming in. Puts up the 1 glove. Happened to be in a restaurant last night. One where Ken Harrelson walked in, and there were 3 little girls, maybe between 10 and 14, sitting at a table near me. And they jumped 4 feet in the air when he came in and left a gasp that I thought someone had fallen down or hurt themselves, and there was big Ken Harrelson in a red sweater and white slacks. Here's Stan Bonson, ball 1. He has taken over as the king of Boston. He's got to go some, though, to catch Carl Yastrzemski, but he has a lot more, I guess, color or prestige or whatever it is than Carl this year because of his fancy doodads and the way he grows his hair and the nickname, the Hawk. He's taken over here in Fenway. 1 ball, 1 strike now to Bonson as Culp sets, delivers. Stan takes strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ray Culp moving right along. Sets, kicks, delivers. Curveball, strike 3, and that is strikeout number 3 for Culp. Bonson going down swinging. For the Yankees, no runs on a hit and 1 left. The score after 1.5. The Yankees lead the Red Sox 1-0.
Light Kruger Pilsner, bright Kruger Pilsner. It's just a special beer for any time at all. We take our time to make it a fine brew. Made a little at a time, it's the world's most perfect beer. Light Kruger Pilsner, a bright Kruger Pilsner. And when you're thirsty, it's the taste that's crisp and clear. 'Cause it's perfect beer. It's a Kruger Pilsner, a light festive flavor. That's Kruger Pilsner.
G. Kruger Brewing Company, Cranston, Rhode Island. How do you like that? A swinging brewery.
And here comes the Hawk, Ken Harrelson, as he steps in. He's got the high stirrups, pulls the socks way up. The white bands around each wrist. A golf glove on his left hand. On the back of his helmet, a big piece of tape with the Hawk on it. And then a lot of curls curling out from under the back of that helmet. But he has done it this year. Leads the American League in RBIs with 109. He swings and misses, strike 1. And unless Frank Howard comes up with 4 to go ahead, Howard has 106. Harrelson pretty much looks like he'll put that RBI title away. Ken Harrelson, a .274 hitter, 35 home runs. Takes a curve. No balls and 2 strikes. Eddie Popowski coaching at third. At first base, Bobby Doerr as Neil Farber moves in. Don't forget all you group people that want to come down with groups. Contact Neil at Yankee Stadium. He'll take care of you. Produces our games. I tell you, he does more things than anybody I can think of at Yankee Stadium. Fastball is outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Neil, how many different jobs do you have?
Not too many, Jerry. Just group sales, season ticket sales, season box sales, producing on radio and TV once in a while.
What do you do in your spare time, huh? Travel. Ken Harrelson takes a strike 3, and he doesn't like it. John Stevens put the right hand up. Harrelson gave him one of those looks and drops his bat as he walks away right near home plate. Well, how does it look for the coming winter, Neil, as far as group sales and all that is concerned?
Very good, Jerry. Surprisingly enough, we're getting an awful lot of requests for groups who want to make a big day or night of it at the stadium next year. It's been very surprising. I'm glad to see it.
All right, now's the time to get started, so you won't be shut out for those games next year. Yeah, now's the time to get your group started. Here is Reggie Smith, batting from the left side. He's a switch hitter. He takes outside, ball 1. Reggie concluding another fine year, batting .264, 15 home runs, and 58 RBIs with 22 stolen bases. Hits one high in the air into short right center. Pepitone, Robinson, it drops a base hit. And he's going to second. The throw is over the head of Stretch. Reggie Smith stole second. That's about the best way you can say it. While we're waiting for the fans to calm down, it's New York Yankee baseball. We pause for station identification.
It pays to listen to Jim Amici tomorrow from 10 to 2 and share in Jim's jackpot of $10,000 in prizes here at WHN 1050 New York.
Joe Foy is coming in with 1 out, and Reggie Smith, who just came up with his 37th double of the year, and that 37th double gives him the American League lead in that department. He was tied with Brooks Robinson of the Orioles with 36 apiece. So that's why he just kept going, and he caught both Pepitone and Robinson short. Joe Foy waiting now. Tying run at second base. Yankees leading 1-0. There's a drive into center field. Not too deep. Pepitone has this, and he unloads in a hurry, holding Smith at second. 2 down. The batter will be the shortstop, Rico Petrocelli. Foy, before hitting that one to center field, batting at .226. Now Rico Petrocelli, batting .234, 12 home runs, 46 RBIs. The double by Reggie Smith, the first hit off Stan Bonson. We're in the bottom of the second. Bonson ready. Sets, delivers. Petrocelli takes strike 1. A lot of importance, once again, we'll say it, on this ball game. 3rd place on the line for the Red Sox. A first division finish on the line for the Yankees. Petrocelli swings and misses, strike 2. Fans starting to clap their hands, trying to get things going. Bonson sets. Delivers way outside. Petrocelli takes it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Rico Petrocelli playing in his 122nd ball game, so he's missed 39 games. This is 123rd game, rather. He played 122 before this one. Has that chronic arm problem. Petrocelli swings and misses, strike 3. Bonson just blew it by him. For the Red Sox, no runs, 1 hit, the double by Smith, 1 man left. The score after 2, The Yankees 1, Boston nothing.
Have you ever headed for your favorite store to get a six-pack of Kruger Pilsner and been given the out sign? Been told that the demand has been greater than the supply and Kruger Pilsner is temporarily out of stock? It's disappointing, all right, but not as disappointing as it would be if Kruger hurried up their brewing process and turned out beer that didn't have that distinctive Kruger Pilsner taste. You see, Kruger Pilsner is brewed in a special way, in small amounts. That's so the brewers can maintain complete quality control at all times. They make sure every condition necessary to turn out perfect beer is met, and they take their time doing it, and the result is worth it. Great extra light Kruger Pilsner. But when you take a lot of time to turn out a small amount of beer, you run into supply problems. People are likely to buy it up as fast as you produce it. So if you sometimes find Kruger Pilsner hard to come by, we ask you to please be patient. After all, it's Kruger Pilsner, and you just can't rush perfection.
From WHN News, the United Federation of Teachers and the Board of Education have signed a written agreement which Mayor Lindsay says should allow city schools to reopen tomorrow. Stay tuned to WHN.
And Gibbs, with back-to-back singles to open the ball game, broke the streak of Ray Culp at 39 consecutive innings pitched and a chance to pitch his 5th consecutive shutout. Clark takes strike one, a curve that drops right in there. The one-strike pitch coming up. Culp fires it. Clark swings and misses. Went after a bad ball. Strike 2. Horace Clark is going home this year to the Virgin Islands, and he's going to take a couple of months off before he plays any baseball. He's not going to right into winter baseball as he has for so many years. He's going to take a little rest. 2-strike delivery, misses outside, 1-2. Many people feel that Horace was just plain ordinary tired a lot this year. Plays winter and summer and has for the last 8 or 10 years. Clark drills one left side, slicing foul into the seats. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ray Culp to Clark. High chopper toward first, kicking foul. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Yankees, with this game today on the road, should go 1,340,000 or in that area. That could lead the American League in road attendance. Culp to Clark. There's a dribbler toward first. Culp has this one and makes the play unassisted. 1 away. Jake Gibbs now. Gibbs singled to right, sending Clark to third, and then went to second on a fly ball and to third on a wild pitch. Jake takes outside for ball 1. Yankees will wind up this year with a better than 500 mark. Jake, a 2-hopper. Dalton Jones traps it. A tough hop. Races to first. Gibbs is out of there. The last time that the Yankees finished over 500 was back in 1964. Last year, there were 18 games under 500, finished with a 72-90 record. So that's quite an improvement here in 1968. And a promising future ahead for the young Yankees. Here's Pepitone, struck out on the first. Drills one hard over the first baseman's head down the line. Kicking off the wall, up with it is Harrelson. Now bobbles it, and Pepitone glides into second base. A 2-out double for Joe Pepitone. Harrelson bobbled the ball. Pepitone could have gone to third, but in this case, unless the ball is hit to left and he can't score on a base hit, he's as good at second as he is at third. Yankees are leading 1-0 in the top of the third. So let's see whether or not that will have any bearing on whether Pepitone scores or not. Culp to White, up the middle. Behind second base, Andrews, the throw to first. Nice play, a great play by the young second baseman, Mike Andrews. And listen to these fans. Fine play to cut down Roy White, a fast man. No runs and a hit and one left. The score after 2.5. Yankees 1, Red Sox nothing.
Light Kruger Pilsner, bright Kruger Pilsner. It's just a special beer for any time at all. We take our time to make it a fine brew. Made a little at a time, it's the world's most perfect beer.
We're genuinely sorry there's not enough Kruger Pilsner to go around. We take our time, and we don't brew a lot of it. So share your Kruger with friends. Be kind.
'Cause it's perfect beer. It's Kruger Pilsner. Light festive flavor. That's Kruger Pilsner. That's
G. Kruger Brewing Company, Cranston, Rhode Island.
Russ Gibson is coming on for the Boston Red Sox. Gibson coming up for the first time, a .216 hitter, 3 home runs and 18 RBIs. Right-hand batter. Pulls way into the bucket when he goes after the pitch, and with Bonson, he'll really be taking off. Hard to believe he could hit an outside pitch at all, but he does from time to time. Not too often. Curveball catches the inside corner, strike one. That's the place I would think you would not pitch this guy if you can help it. Because when he pulls off the plate, that's like right down the middle for him. The 1-strike delivery. There's one outside. That's strike 2. Got it on the corner. No balls, 2 strikes. Gibson waiting. Bonson fires a little bit low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Yankees won. They've got 4 base hits, no errors. The Red Sox nothing, 1 base hit and no errors. The 1-2 delivery fouled off by Gibson, off the facade of the roof and back into the stands. It isn't for the pennant, but the ball game today is just as important for these 2 ball clubs. Yes, sir, that's important for both. 3rd place finish for the Red Sox, 5th, and a 1st division finish for the Yankees. There's a drive to right over Costco's head. It drops for a base hit. Robinson is up with it, and Gibson is held to a single. A leadoff single by Russ Gibson. That'll bring up the pitcher, Ray Culp. Somebody in the paper today, and of course this is just conjecture, figured that if the Red Sox come in 3rd, it'll be worth about $1,500. If they come in 4th, about $800. And that's a big spread in one ball game. As long as you're playing it, you might as well win it, and that's what the Red Sox want to do. Culp bunt toward first, a good bunt. Up with it is Bonson. Over to Horace Clark. The sacrifice is good. Down to second base goes Gibson. Pitcher to Horace Clark, covering at first. 1 away. Now Mike Andrews, who bounced to second in the 1st. This guy's a dangerous hitter. He's been coming on strong all year. Gibson at second. Andrews the batter. Right-hand hitter facing the right-handed Stan Bonson. A packed house, absolutely jammed to the rafters. Bonson fires and Andrews backs away. Ball 1. The American League Championship flag for 1967 is flying below Old Glory out there on the center field flagpole. Quite a year last year, and not too disappointing this year for the Red Sox. 1 ball and 1 strike. I don't believe Boston ever really felt they were in contention after the disaster to Jim Lonborg in that off-season skiing accident. They knew they would have troubles. Andrews on the ground. Cox has it. Fires to Costco, and Andy makes a nice shift of his feet to take that one. Mike Andrews is out of there. The play going 5-3, third to first. 2 out. Gibson holding at second. Here's Dalton Jones. The Yankees still leading 1-0 in the third inning. We'll bring you up to date on all the scores in both the American and the National right after this half inning. Dalton Jones, left-hand batter, struck out in the first inning. Stan Boston delivers, fouls it off. Dalton Jones does to our left. Strike 1. Gibson moving off at second base. Bonson checking him. Sets, delivers again. Jones swings and misses. Strike 2. Fastball at the belt. Outfield shifts to the right. Infield about straight away. Sort of a split defense. They don't shift as hard in the infield as they do in the outfield for Jones. Jones waiting. Chokes up a little. Bonson again. Fogs one in there. This one fouled off just to our left. No balls, 2 strikes. Yesterday, the Yankees at one time trailing 3-0, came up with 2 in the 7th. 1 in the 8th on the home run by Costco to tie it up. 1 in the 9th on the home run by Pepitone to give them that win. And that was a big game for the Yankees. The 2-strike pitch. Just outside. Gibbs thought he had it. Ball 1, strike 2. You can see the position the Yankees would be in today. Had they lost yesterday, they would be trailing Oakland by 1 full game, and the best they could hope for would be a tie for 5th. This way, if they win, it's up to Oakland. This one fouled off and just to the left of the TV booth. I think they're after Rizzuto and Messer over there. That one didn't go in the TV booth. We're on this side of the plate, which is the left side, third base side, sitting in little cubbies that are about 8 or 10 feet wide, and there's 1, 2, 3, about 4 or 5 of them. Radio, television, a couple of guest boxes. In the dirt, a great play by Jake Gibbs. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Dalton Jones, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs at second base. Russ Gibson. He got the single and then was sacrificed by Culp. Bonson kicks again. Here it is, a curve that misses high. 3-2, a full count. And right behind Jones is Carl Yastrzemski. A big pitch coming up. Bonson ready. Delivers. Jones swings and misses, strike 3, and that's number 4 for Stan. His 4th strikeout for the Red Sox. No runs, a hit, 1 left. The score after 3 full innings of play. Yankees 1, Red Sox 0. And now let's check this scorecard. Senators and the Tigers all tied at 2 apiece. They're playing in the 5th. Moore is starter for Washington. He's still in there. Lolich relieved by Wilson in the 5th. And I think that manager Mayo Smith is probably just giving his pitchers some work so that they'll be ready next Wednesday when they go up against the Cardinals in St. Louis. Chicago at California, later start. And Minnesota at Oakland, and that's the one that the Yankees will be watching. Of course, they won't get any results on it until after this game is over. In the National League, the Mets won, the Phillies nothing. Short against Seaver. Seaver going for his 17th. Did you see where Jerry Koosman got his 19th yesterday? 1-0 Mets over the Phillies. They're playing in the 3rd. Cincinnati won, the Giants nothing in the 2nd. Sadecki against Maloney. Pirates and the Cubs are scoreless after 1.5. Beal against Hands. L.A. and the Braves scoreless after 3. Foster against Necro. Houston, with a home run by Jimmy Wynn in the first inning, leads the Cardinals 1-0 with St. Louis batting bottom of the 1st. Cuellar against Washburn. right here at Fenway Park. Yankees lead the Red Sox 1-0, and they'll send Costco, Tresh, and Robinson to the plate here in the top of the fourth. Andy Costco struck out in the first. Ray Culp, the right-hander, taking his windup. Delivers. There's a check swing bouncer towards second. Andrews was way back, but Costco is not too fast, and he's out easily. Mike Andrews was back on the grass and over towards second. He had a long run to catch the ball, but still plenty of time to retire Andy Costco. One away, and now here's Tommy Tresh. Tresh takes low, ball one. Culp ready again. The 1-0 delivery, and Tommy way out in front of a changeup. 1 ball, 1 strike. That's the pitch that's given Tresh trouble all year, and the one that he'll have to find a solution to if he expects to move that average up. There's a lot of trouble with changeups. He bunts this one toward first. The ball is fair, and standing on the bag as he catches it is Dalton Jones. Tresh is out of there for the second time. First baseman unassisted, this time on an attempted bunt for a base hit. Raymond Leonard Culp Jr., born in Elgin, Texas. He's 6 feet, 200 pounds. Entering his 10th year of pro ball this season. Bill Robinson takes low, ball one. He was entering it. Now he's finishing his 10th year of professional baseball. The book that we just read, of course, was printed before the season started. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Robbie. In there, 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs, nobody on. Yankees 1, Red Sox nothing. Final game, final day, 1968. The 1-1 pitch. On the ground, sharply hit. Petrocelli, nice play. One-handed it over to the first baseman, and the side is retired. Robinson, who had singled in the second, is out here in the fourth. 3 up and 3 down, and the score after 3.5. Yankees leading the Red Sox 1-0. Well, you know, there's an interesting item that'll be popping up shortly. The individual honors for the most valuable player, Cy Young Award winner, Rookie of the Year in both leagues. Then there's going to be an interesting thing developing for Manager of the Year. There are many people who feel that manager Ralph Houck will be in strong contention for that honor of Manager of the Year. And it's not so much the fact that the Yankees have moved up a notch or two, but the fact that they have a strong chance and very likely could finish in the first division, and that's something that nobody predicted this year. Mayo Smith certainly will be the other manager getting strong consideration because of the fact that he brought his club in a pennant winner, but there are those who felt that he should have done it. What's your thinking? Well, we'll know probably in a month or so after the season's over. Carl Yastrzemski is stepping in the bottom of the 4th inning. Carl bounced to short in the first. As we mentioned before the game got underway, Carl can go 0 for 6 and still be a 300 hitter. If this game is played in regulation time, like 9 innings, what happens to Yastrzemski right now could dictate whether or not he goes over that 306 average. He's batting at 302 right now, and he takes a curve for a strike. He needed a 3 for 4 day to hit 307. If he doesn't make it this time, unless things happen, he will not make it. In the dirt by Bonson to Yastrzemski, 1 ball and 1 strike. For those of you who just tuned in, what it really means is that Carl Yastrzemski will lead the American League, but he will have the lowest average ever to do it. Dan Bonson, checking Gibbs, ready, the windup. Here it comes, and Carl takes high, 2 balls and 1 strike. Last half of the fourth inning. The Yankees out in front by a run. It's a 1-0 game. Yastrzemski, Harrelson, and Smith. The next one to Carl is a curve that's in there, strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Stan Bonson will have to pitch through the heart of the Red Sox batting order. Carl Yastrzemski has stated more than once that Bonson he considers the fastest right-hander in the league. There's a high chopper to the second baseman Clark, and it looks like it's 0 for 2 thus far for Carl Yastrzemski. Bounce to short and to second. Ken Harrelson struck out in the second inning. Harrelson waiting. Bonson delivers high and outside, ball 1. Bonson ready again. The 1-0 pitch to Ken Harrelson. Backs him off the plate. 2 balls and no strikes. Yankees, 1 run, 4 hits. Red Sox, no runs, 2 hits. 1 away. Ken Harrelson, the hitter. He likes that short left field fence here. 35 home runs, 109 RBIs. Waiting. On the toe of that front foot, he takes low and inside. 3 balls and no strikes. Reggie Smith, the hitter in the on-deck circle, right behind Ken Harrelson. Wind blowing toward right now. It's picked up a little in tempo. The next one, Harrelson on the 3-0 pitch, pops it up on the right side. Costco backing up. Foul territory, just makes the play. That ball started to drift behind him. Ken Harrelson shooting for the equalizer, pops up on a 3-0 pitch, and now here is Reggie Smith. He doubled in the second inning, and that gives him the American League lead with 37. He was tied before his recent double with Brooks Robinson of the Orioles. 2 outs, nobody on. Smith from the left side. This is a fine ball player. He's got all of the tools. Takes high, ball 1. Reggie Smith can run, throw, field. Not great power, but good enough. And he's a switch hitter. Can steal bases. The 1-0 delivery. Fouled back. 1 ball, 1 strike. Anytime you find a ball player who can run and throw, you've got 2 of the key ingredients in playing this game. If he can put the wood to the ball at all, he can make it. 2 balls and 1 strike. Fastball missed outside. The 2-1 delivery. It's low. 3 balls and 1 strike. People don't realize, and Bill Kane just brought it up when you talk about throwing, it's so underrated because if you can't throw, you're eliminated automatically from center field and right field and catching just off the bat. Infield position, sometimes you can overcome a weak arm. Here's a 3-1 delivery. It's hit high in the air on the left side. Bobby Cox calling for it. Moving in fair territory, makes the play, and the side is retired. 3 up and 3 down. The score after 4 full innings of play. The Yankees 1 and the Red Sox nothing. Well, I've got only 1 more half inning here on the radio side or somewhere in that vicinity. And right now, personally, I'd like to thank all of the Yankee fans who've been so kind to me and to the rest of our broadcast crew and to the Yankees throughout the year. We get many wonderful letters asking us questions, sometimes complimenting us, other times just nice little notes. telling us how much they enjoy the broadcast. Of course, we get the other kind, too, but by and large, there are more people who recently have dropped us notes to let us know that they enjoyed the broadcast. And when you work all year long, 6 months, a little quick note like this kind of makes you feel pretty good. So to all of you people out there and to all Yankee fans, from Jerry Coleman, Phil Rizzuto, Frank Messer, a great big thanks. And a big thanks for the wonderful support you've given us this year. Here's Bobby Cox coming on. He'll be followed by Bonson and Horace Clark. Cox takes high and inside. You know, we thank so many people today, but most of all, we just have to thank, once again, Bill Kane, our statistician, Sandy Alper, who switches the dials for us. Cox takes a strike, 1 ball and 1 strike. And Neil Farber, who helps put us on the air and keep us there, and to Chuck Milton, who was with us through the first 4 months of this season. A particular thanks from all of us to these wonderful people. The 1-1 pitch to Bobby Cox. He swings and misses, strike 2. Yankees are leading 1-0. Top of the 5th inning. Money on the line, prestige on the line for the Red Sox and the Yanks. Ray Culp to Cox on the ground. Petrocelli has the big hop. The flip is in time to Dalton Jones, 1 away. 1 up and 1 down, and now it's New York Yankee baseball. We pause for station identification.
From WHN News, Mayor Lindsay reports the Board of Education and the striking United Federation of Teachers have reached an agreement. He says it should allow the city schools to open tomorrow. Stay tuned to WHN, 1050, New York.
Stan Bonson, who struck out in the 2nd inning, is up there, and he takes strike 1. The 1 run in the 1st inning by the Yankees has been the difference thus far, and that's the way they lead, 1-0 in the 5th. Bonson swings and misses, strike 2. Clark singled. Gibbs singled, sending Clark to 3rd. And White hit a sacrifice fly, scoring Horace Clark, and that's been the difference. Swing and a miss by Stan, and he strikes out for the 2nd time, and that's number 4 for Ray Culp. We got a note from our good friends over at Mr. Mann's in Newark. They outfit most of the ball players in some of the sharpest clothes around. And we'll be leaving the air, maybe visiting them one of these days to get straightened out in the style department. Clark takes a strike. Horace Clark, no balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Boy, oh, is he tight at 3rd base, way in. 1 ball and 1 strike. By tomorrow, it'll be tough to find 9 Yankees in New York. They'll spread to the 4 winds. Everybody with Christmas ideas and off-season ideas. Clark fouls one back on the screen. 1 ball and 2 strikes now. Some of the Yankee players will go into businesses that they run in absentia. Others will go into PR work with the Yankees. Some will stay in New York. Others will just go hunting and fishing for a while. Some will play winter baseball. Tony Solita is down on Clearwater right now for the Yankee farm team in that offseason. There's a chopper. Petrocelli can't make the play on it. It was over the head of Culp. Rico Petrocelli could not come up with it. They threw the ball over to first, thinking that Horace Clark might have made that slight move toward second. If he had, he could have been called out, but first base umpire Bill Kunkel says no. That's the 2nd hit for Horace Clark, and the 5th rather, off Ray Culp. A 2-out scratch single by Clark. Jake Gibbs up there. Clark on the way. The throw is not in time. And Horace Clark has number 18. A stolen base for Horace. Gibbs took a ball that was low and outside. Clark had a good jump on Culp, and he's got number 18. He stole 17 yesterday. Yankees with a runner in scoring position. Gibbs the batter. Culp delivers, and Jake hits a hopper off the glove of Culp. Petrocelli has this one, fires to Jones in time, and Gibbs is out of there. A nice play by Petrocelli. The play going 1-6-3. It was off the glove of the pitcher. For the Yankees, no runs on one hit and one left. And the score after 4.5. Yankees won and Boston nothing. Oh, we're all set to go here in the bottom of the 5th inning, and for the final time in 1968, we hand the torch over to the scooter, Philip Francis Rizzuto, to carry it down to the wire. Phil?
Hi, Jerry. Thank you very much. Hard to believe that the season is drawing to a close. And this will be it, at least as far as the regular season is concerned. We still have the World Series to go, though. Joey Foy flying to center field his first time up. Stan Bonson delivers a curve outside, ball 1. The Yankees lead 1-0 in the bottom of the 5th, and what a big ball game this is for both clubs. Bonson's pitch low and inside. 2 balls, no strikes. Means a difference of about $800 per man for the Red Sox, should they win or lose this game. For the Yankees, about $400 per man. There's a pitch off the end of Gibbs's glove back to the screen. 3 balls, no strikes to count on Joey Foy. That's the difference between the Red Sox finishing 3rd or 4th and the Yankees finishing either 5th or 6th. Bonson's pitch is ball 4 on 4 straight pitches. Bonson gives up his first walk of the ball game. And it brings up Rico Petrocelli, who struck out his first time up. Quite a ball game they have given the rookie Stan Bonson a pitch. Final game of the year, and so much riding on it. Got to be a lot of pressure. And for Ray Culp the same way. What a year Culp has had. He and Dick Ellsworth picked up by the Red Sox. They've won 32 games between them. All right, the stretch. The pitch to Petrocelli, a foul back, strike 1. Oh, even after 4 straight balls, Petrocelli figured that Bonson would have to groove one, and he went swinging. Usually when a pitcher walks a man on 4 straight pitches, the next batter automatically takes a pitch. But with the short left field wall, Red Sox play a little different type baseball up here in Fenway. Foy, a good base runner, leading off first base. Bonson kicks, delivers, ground ball is short, could be 2. Tresh to Clark for 1, back to first, double play. And Clark flipped that ball with Joey Foy sliding in hard. Clark had both feet off the ground as he flipped it to first base. A big double play by the Yankees to get Bonson out of a jam. 2 out. The batter now, Russ Gibson, who looped a single to short right field his first time up. Gibson will hit 9 out of 10 balls to the left of second base. And very rarely will he hit one to right field unless he's completely fooled. Bonson's pitch, high, ball 1. Gibson really steps in the bucket. A lot of right-hand hitters who have played for the Red Sox in years past and present step in the bucket. There's a swing and a miss, 1-1. They do that to try and pull that ball against the left field wall or over it. The thing is, Gibson stands a little far from that plate. The pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Yankees lead 1-0 in the bottom of the 5th. Strange thing about that left field wall, taking a lot of points away from right-hand hitters' batting averages. Curve foul, back and out of play. When you're batting here in Fenway Park, you can really see that wall out of the corner of your eye, and it looks like it's right in back of the shortstop. And as a result, you'll go for a lot of bad pitches, where in another park you would try and hit them to right field. The strange thing is, since Jimmy Fox last won the batting crown for the Red Sox, only left-hand hitters have won the batting crown for the Red Sox since then. That gives you an idea. Ball in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Great Ted Williams won many. Billy Goodman 1 year, then Williams again, and then Pete Runnels, another left-hand batter 2 years in a row, and then Yastrzemski, who will be winning his 3rd batting crown for the Red Sox. The 2-2 pitch. Slow curve a little low, and it's a full count, 3-2. The left-hand hitters, of course, take advantage of that wall. Even Williams, they can go that way and reach it. The payoff pitch, ground ball hit hard to short, over Stretch's glove in a left center base hit. So you can see how important that double play was now by the Yankees, as Gibson gets his 2nd base hit, the 3rd for the Red Sox in the game, and here's Ray Culp, who sacrificed his first time up. Culp batting .116 on the year, 8 for 69, 1 double, 3 RBIs. Pasco holds the bag against Gibson. Gibson has stolen 1 base in this series, though he's not a threat to run. There's a foul over the roof and out of play. On the year, Gibson has just 1 stolen base. And that was against the Yankees in this series. And with the pitcher up, you don't expect him to run. Bonson's next pitch, swing and a miss at a high outside fastball. Strike 2, 0-2 the count. Bonson ready again. The pitch, pop foul, and that'll go back into the crowd out of play. Costco chasing it, but he can't reach it. Well back into the seats. Standing room only crowd here today. So Stan Bonson rubbing up a new baseball. A tough ballpark for pitchers. Can't make a mistake. Again, Bonson ready. The curve, swing and a miss, strike 3. Bonson gets his 5th strikeout of the ball game. For the Red Sox, no runs, a base hit, no errors, and a man left. And at the end of 5 full innings, it's the Yankees 1 and the Red Sox nothing. Well, for a few months now, we've been telling you club and group leaders to get in touch with Neil Farber for a big group day or night at Yankee Stadium. And your response has been terrific. And I'm sure you've been rewarded with an exciting day or night of Yankee baseball. And many groups have requested and received welcomes on our scoreboard and on radio and TV, and many other exciting happenings to make their day or night an enjoyable one. And we've got bigger and better plans in mind for groups in 1969. Yes, sir, believe it or not, we're already getting group requests for next year. So why don't you get an early start on baseball's new era? And remember, that's expansion and divisional play. There'll be 12 teams in each league next year. So make your group plans now and get in touch with Neil Farber. That's Neil Farber, Group Sales Department, Yankee Stadium, Bronx, New York. So the Yankees lead 1-0. We go into the top of the 6th inning. And Joe Pepitone will lead it off for the Yankees. Pepe is struck out in double to right field. Stops to have his usual chat with the opposing catcher. Waiting for the ground crew to get off. They had been smoothing down the infield. Just now going out of the gate down the right field line. Pepe digging in. Ray Culp out on the mound. The windup. The pitch to Pepitone. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Joe Pepitone putting on that late season surge. He hit the big home run yesterday to win the ball game for the Yankees. Culp winds. Line right at Petrocelli. Knee high. 1 out. Pepe hit the ball right on the button. That brings up Roy White. Roy has driven in the only run of the game with a sacrifice fly to right field in the first that drove in Horace Clark. And then he was robbed of a base hit on a fine play by Mike Andrews in the third inning. Here's the pitch by Culp. A curve bouncer right at Andrews at second. He's got it. Flips to Jones, and it's 2 out. And now Andy Costco. Andy struck out in the first, bounced to second in the fourth. Mickey Mantle not with the Yankees today. Mick's knee is swollen, and he has a bad ankle. So Mick was allowed to leave early and go home to Dallas. Get himself a head start on a good rest for the winter, in hopes that he'll be back with the Yankees next year. And Mick is quite optimistic about it. And he really enjoys playing first base. The pitch to Costco is taken high, ball 1. He has really improved at first base this year. Every day got a little better, a little more confidence. Curve, swing and a miss. 1-1 to Costco. 2 out, nobody on. The Yankees lead 1-0. We're in the top of the 6th inning. Outfield deep on Andy. Again, the wind blowing out towards right field. Curve, swing and a miss. Strike 2. So Ray Culp, who came into this ball game with 4 consecutive shutouts, was scored on in the very first inning. He had beaten the Yankees twice this year without losing to them, and both those wins were shutouts. The 1-2 pitch, curve fouled, upstairs and out of play. So Culp gets a new baseball. Ray looks in, gets the sign from Gibson. His curve is line to left but foul, going back into the crowd down the left field line. Andy Costco, one fella that you can't make a mistake on. You can make him look bad on several pitches, but then you make one mistake and look out. He did it yesterday with a home run, a curve in the dirt. 2-2 on Costco. Jim Lonborg said that Costco hit a low inside fastball yesterday for the home run. Claims it was a real tough pitch. And he said the one Pepitone hit was a change of pace, low and outside. So when you make your best pitches and they hit homers off you, you're in trouble. Curve hit deep to center field. Reggie Smith going way back. That ball is off the wall. And it hits off Smith, and going into second base with a stand-up double is Costco. And, man, he creamed that one. Reggie Smith was fortunate that the ball did not hit him in the face. He got too close to the brick wall out there in dead center field. And it hit off the wall, came back and hit Smith. It looked like off the chest. And Costco into second base with a stand-up double. He really creamed that one. For Costco, that's his 19th double of the year. And now with 2 out, here's Tommy Tresh. Tommy bounced to first in the second inning and trying to beat out a bunt, bunted a little too hard to Dalton Jones at first, who made the unassisted putout. Tommy 0 for 2. Yankees lead 1-0, top of the 6th. The pitch to Tresh, a curve in the dirt, ball 1. Johnny Stevens wants to take a look at that ball, and he's going to throw it out of play. On deck, Bill Robinson. Ralph Howe quite excited about the way the Yankees are finishing up since the All-Star break and looking forward to next year. The ball did not go all the way into the dugout, and Johnny Stevens wants one of the bat boys or somebody to come out and get the ball. Here he comes now. And they're going to put Tresh on a pitch to Bill Robinson. And this will be the first walk given up by Ray Culp in the ball game. That is, sometimes you wonder if the manager looks at the opposing team's batting averages and what they do against curveball pitches. Tommy has had a rough time of it. Bill Robinson is a much hotter hitter right now than Tommy Tresh. But a lot of managers just go against the percentages and don't rely on statistics too much. So we'll have to wait and see how Dick Williams' strategy pans out. Robbie single to left field in the second inning, bounced to short in the fourth. Costco at second, Tresh at first with 2 out. Yankees lead 1-0. The pitch to Robbie. Curve outside, ball 1. Yankees have 6 hits to go with their 1 run. The Red Sox 3 hits and no runs. And each pitcher has walked only 1 man. Culp's pitch is a curve in there. Strike called 1-1. Culp has struck out 4 Yankees while Bonson has struck out 5 Red Sox. So it's pretty evenly matched. Culp ready. Curve hit deep to left center field. Reggie Smith digging on the warning track. He's got it. Man, that ball was tagged a couple of more feet, and it would have been off the wall, but Reggie Smith made a fine play, and Dick Williams takes a deep breath of relief. For the Yankees, no runs, a base hit, no errors, and 2 men left. And at the end of 5 1/2, it's the Yankees 1, the Red Sox nothing. Well, Atlantic is giving away sporty new Camaros, mink jackets, plus thousands of other wonderful prizes. Now, how do you get these wonderful prizes? Well, just play Atlantic's On the Go. All you have to do is drive into any participating Atlantic station and ask for an On the Go coupon. No purchase is necessary, and except where prohibited by law, any licensed driver can win. Each time you stop at a participating Atlantic station, pick up another coupon. It's as easy as that. Match them up until you find 2 coupons that make a complete picture, and you're a winner. Sound easy? Well, here's something to make it even easier. Each on-the-go coupon gives you not 1, but 4 different ways to make a match. So start collecting coupons now. Fabulous prizes could be waiting for you at any participating Atlantic station. In New England, Atlantic's big fun event is Play Ball, Collect All-Star. See your New England Atlantic dealer for complete information. For the Red Sox, it'll be the top of their order to face Stan Bonson here in the bottom of the 6th. Andrews has bounced to second and bounced to third. And Bonson ready to work on the tall second baseman, Mike Andrews. First pitch to Andrews is high and tight, ball 1. On deck, Dalton Jones, and then Carl Yastrzemski to follow. Bonson gets the sign. Fastball on the inside corner, 1-1. Nobody out, nobody on. Fastball lined up, base hit to left field, and I want to tell you, he tomahawked a high fastball. 1 bounce to Roy White in left field. Solid base hit for Mike Andrews. That's the 4th hit off Bonson, and here is Dalton Jones. Been up twice, struck out both times. And coming out on deck, Carl Yastrzemski. Oh, nobody out here in the bottom of the 6th. The Yankees leading 1-0. Andrews leads away. The pitch to Jones. Bouncing ball at second. Clark goes to Tresh. That's all they can get. And they get the 4th play. The lead runner at second base. From Clark to Tresh, 4-6. No chance to get Dalton Jones at first. And here is Yastrzemski. Yastrzemski, who will lead the American League in batting, but it looks like he'll have the lowest average ever of any man to lead the American League in batting. You remember Elmer Flick led it with 306 way back in the early 1900s. Yaz came into this game 303. The pitch to Yaz, outside, ball one. Elmer Flick, who led it in 1905 with 306, is still living, and I believe he's in the Hall of Fame. He was quite a ball player. All right, Jones leads away. Pitch to Yaz, popped up in a shallow left field. Could be trouble. Tresh going out and makes the catch. Roy White could not reach it. Tommy Tresh went out left field, made the catch. 2 away, and the batter now, Ken Harrelson, who is struck out in the second, popped to first in the fourth. And Yastrzemski fires the helmet down on the ground in the dugout. So Yastrzemski now 0 for 3, but he would have to go 0 for 6 today, and he would still be at 300. All right, here's the stretch. Pitch to Harrelson, low, ball one. Elmer Flick, who we were talking about a moment ago, is in the Hall of Fame, and he had a lifetime batting average of .315. And that's pretty fair country hitting, I'll tell you. All right, the pitch to Harrelson, a curve line. Bobby Cox knocks it down, can't make a play. As Bobby was lunging to his left. And let's see what they're going to give him. It was a line drive. Cox got his glove on it, couldn't hold on to it. And they have given him a base hit. It's a single. They took one away from Harrelson that was hit harder than that yesterday. That's the 5th hit off Bonson, and here's Reggie Smith, who doubled a shallow right center in the second, popped to third base in the fourth. Runners at first and second. The Yankees lead 1-0, bottom of the 6th. Stretched by Bonson. His pitch high and outside, ball one. All right, Bonson ready. Delivers a foul over the roof out of play. Scooter got it. Scooter got his first foul ball here at Fenway Park with a little extra hustle. Told you, Scooter, if you hustle, you make the play. 1-1 the count. Runners lead at first and second. The pitch on the inside corner, a good pitch by Bonson. Right in on the hands of Reggie Smith, a ball and 2 strikes. Dalton Jones at second base. Ken Harrelson at first with 2 out. Bonson ready. Kicks, delivers a changeup that's low, and it's 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 men on, 2 out. Bonson taking plenty of time. We told you how important this ball game is for each club. All right, stand ready. The pitch. Popped in the air to center field. Pepitone coming. Can't get it. That'll tie the ball game up as Reggie Smith hit one right off the end of the bat. It dumped in a shallow right center field for a base hit to tie up the ball game at 1-1. Moving to third on the play, Harrelson. Reggie Smith, been a key man for these Red Sox all year, picks up another RBI. That was the 69th RBI of the year for Reggie Smith. Reggie, by the way, with that double he got his first time up, leads the American League in doubles now. He has 37. All right, Joey Foy fly to center and walk. The Yankees will have to be alert for the possible double steal attempt upon anything right now. Here's the stretch. Pitch to Foy, a curve high, ball one. Reggie Smith has 22 stolen bases. Bonson ready. Curve, check swing outside, ball 2, 2-0. 2 out, 2 on, a 1-1 ball game in the bottom of the 6th inning. Smith leads off first, Harrelson off third. Here's the stretch. Pitch, swing and a miss, and boy, swung right out from under his cap. Reaches down now to pick it up. 2 balls and a strike. Joey Foy, the batter. On deck, Rico Petrocelli. Stretch by Bonson. High fastball, 3-1. Lindy McDaniel gets up in the bullpen for the Yankees. And boy, if he comes on, that Dick Williams liable to get run out of the game again. He keeps insisting that McDaniel, when he brings his foot around after winding up, is not in contact with the rubber. Wide ready for the 3-1 pitch. Here it is. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Full count, 3-2. Dick Williams was ejected from the ball game yesterday for arguing too much about it. Claims that McDaniel is pitching 3 or 4 inches in front of the rubber. All right, Smith will be going 3-2. There he goes. The pitch fouled out of play. Off the roof, bouncing back down on the field. Standing room only crowd here today. And it looks like the Yankees will end up as the best attraction on the road again, attendance-wise. All right, Bonson stretches. The runner goes. The pitch is high, ball 4, and the bases are loaded. Timeout called by Jay Gibbs. He wants to talk with Bonson. While they're chatting out there on Yankee baseball, we'll pause for station identification.
From WHN News, Mayor Lindsay reports an agreement to end the city's 3-week-old school strike. Union President Shanker and Walter Degnan, head of the Council of Supervisory Associations, will recommend their members return to school tomorrow. WHN 1050, New York.
All right, Gibbs and Bonson break up the huddle. The bases are loaded. 2 men are out. The score is tied 1-1 in the bottom of the 6th. Rico Petrocelli, who struck out and hit into a double play, the batter. Bonson winds. The pitch to Rico, a curve high, ball 1. Bonson ready again. All 3 runners leading away. Pitch by Stan, popped up. Bobby Cox in foul territory. Oh, he makes the catch, and I tell you, Reggie Smith almost knocked him down. Had he run into Cox, Smith would have been called out because Bobby was in foul territory, but Bobby made the play. The Red Sox come up with a run. 3 hits, no Yankee errors, and 3 men left. And at the end of 6 full innings, it's the Yankees 1 and the Red Sox 1. We're getting ready for the top of the 7th inning. And as usual, tradition-wise, Bill Kane is going to do the top of the 7th inning with the Yankees batting. Bill, it's all yours.
Okay, Phil, thank you. There's a pitch is high, ball 1. Bobby Cox is at bat. Cox flied out to right in the 2nd inning, grounded to 3rd. In the 5th, he takes ball 2 on the outside. Score tied 1 apiece. Ball 3. 3-0 to count on Cox. It's a 3-0 pitch. Strike 1. Culp has had tremendous success against the Yankees this year as he has against the rest of the clubs in the league. Allowed only 1 run now. It's a pop-up. Foul ball behind the plate. Gibson is back. Got a shot, and he has it. 1 out. And Stan Bonson coming to the plate. That scorer's decision on a line drive hit to Cox last inning. It's pretty important to Stan. If they called it an error, it would have given him a pretty good shot to keep the seasonal ERA under 2. Here's a pitch, over, strike 1. You know, Phil, a lot of people ask me if ball players know about their statistics.
Oh, they sure do.
Strike 2. I'll tell you, if you want to know a ball player's statistics, the fellow to see isn't the statistician, it's the ball player. Because they'll know more about him than anyone. Stan was asking me today what he'd have to do to keep his ERA under 2. Pitch is outside. Counts 2-1. 1-2, excuse me.
Well, I think it's pretty good, Bill, if a ball player is aware of what he's doing, how well he's doing, or how badly he's doing.
Oh, yes, I heartily agree. Here's the pitch is low, ball 2. 2-2 is the count. I remember one year Scowen was always asking me to jack up his average a little bit and give him a couple of hits. I said, sure, you get a hit, $1 a hit. He took $200 out of his pocket. There's a pitch, Bonson swings and misses, strike 3. There's 2 out now as Horace Clark comes to the plate. Horace had 2 hits and 3 at-bats today and has stolen a base. Batting left-handed against the right-handed Cope. Scores 1 apiece. Here's the pitch, swung on and fouled back. Strike 1. Pitch. It's a ground ball to Jones at first, takes it on a short hop, steps on first, 3 out. 3 up and 3 down for the Yankees in the top half of the 7th inning. And the score remains at 1 apiece.
Well, say, if you live in Queens and you'd like a little extra money for some worthwhile purpose, here's an invitation from New York's Bank of Commerce. Come in and see us. You don't have to go into Manhattan because Bank of Commerce has 2 branches right in Queens. One at 8905 165th Street, Jamaica. The other at 2525 44th Drive, Long Island City. At both branches, you'll find an understanding loan officer. Bank of Commerce is so understanding that if you qualify, you can borrow up to $5,000 on just your signature. No endorses, no collateral, no red tape. And you can have up to 3 years to repay at low bank rates. You can even arrange the loan by telephone. So next time you start thinking about a new car, think about Bank of Commerce. You'll probably have your loan application approved within 48 hours. That's how understanding Bank of Commerce is. Well, Bill, you usually get us runs when you do the Yankee top. So I think you better do the bottom of the 7th inning. Get those Red Sox out in order, too. You know how big a ball game this is for both clubs.
Okay, Phil, I'm game if you are. Russ Gibson is coming to the plate for the Red Sox, and I think he's quite a bit of story. A fellow who played 10 years in the minor leagues, and first game he caught for the Red Sox, he was almost involved in a no-hitter. Went as far as 2 out in the 9th inning. Remember that, Phil?
That's right. Billy Rohr was the pitcher. It was quite a
Billy
day.
Rohr and Ellie Howard now at the Red Sox got the hit. Here's the windup, and the pitch by Bonson is low and inside, ball 1.
You know, Bill, I think this is a great story for youngsters in any phase of life. Never give up. I mean, you keep trying like Gibson. He could have very easily given up.
Yes, sir. He's outside, ball 2. I think so, too, Phil, and I think you see many of examples in baseball itself. Bobby Cox is a pretty good example.
Uh-huh.
Here's the windup and pitch. Fly ball, old center field. Pepitone coming in, puts the glasses down. He's under it and has it for 1 out. Bobby spent 7 years in the minor leagues, I believe, and comes up to the Yankees, and he was voted Rookie Third Baseman of the Year in the American League.
Another great tribute and another great example.
And here comes Ray Culp. Talk about a fella that's hot. This is one. Here's the pitch. Fouled back. Strike one. And there goes Scooter Rizzuto back on the roof. Well, I guess that one went down to the street. One strike pitch by Bonson is high. Ball one.
Whoever made that deal with Ellsworth and Culp should get a big bonus this year, Bill. They got 32 wins between them.
That was some deal. Here's the pitch. Caught, catches the inside corner for strike two. Two-strike pitch is high. That's ball two. 2-2 the count. Yes, I think the Red Sox are making that deal really help themselves out. And here's a 2-2 pitch now. Is low inside for ball three. And I'd have to say that the Red Sox had a very fine year this year after losing Lomberg and Canigliaro. To think that they could still come in third. Of course, I would say much of the credit is due to the acquisition of Culp and Ellsworth. Here's a pitch high and inside, and Bonson walks the pitch of Culp, which gets every pitcher upset. And Stan is likewise upset.
He is a little upset walking the opposing pitcher, and you look at Culp's average, came into the game batting 116.
So a man on first, one out, and Mike Andrews comes to the plate. Andrews is coming right into his own. He's one of the premier second basemen in the league right now, hitting .271. Not a single to left his last time up. Tries to bunt and fouls it back to the screen. Strike one. How do you rate this fellow as a fielding second baseman, Phil?
Well, he improved so much this year that I think he's one of the top second basemen. Maybe Bobby Knopp's got a little edge on him on the double play, but that's it.
Here's the pitch is high, ball one. Does it make that much difference, being that Andrews came up as a shortstop and was all his minor league life? Is the adjustment that much?
Oh, definitely. It's quite a transition. You can go easier from second to short than you can from short to second.
Here's the pitch is popped up. Gibbs under it, calling for it, and he has it. It's two out. And Dalton Jones comes to the plate. Jones struck out his first two times up and grounded into a force out in the last inning. Left-handed batter. Here's the pitch is fouled back to the left. Get it. On to the root. Score is one apiece. 1 run, 6 hits, no errors for the Yankees. 1 run, 6 hits, no errors for the Red Sox. Culp taking a lead off first base. Costco holding him. The windup by Bonson. And the pitch is a ground ball through the middle of center field for a base hit. Culp rounds second, but now holds up as the throw comes into Tresh. It goes by Tresh, and Cox backs him up to catch it. Culp looked like he might have had a shot to reach third, but he hesitated. And that brings Jazz to the plate. Mr. Boston. And on first and second, 2 out. Score is tied at 1 apiece. Here's the windup by Bonson. And a pitch is outside, ball 1. Yes, it's stated more than once, Phil, that Bonson's one of the toughest pitches for him to hit. He thinks he's one of the rising young stars in the league and says his fastball is as good as anyone.
Well, that's good to hear for the Yankee fans.
Stand in the stretch. Here comes the pitch. It's a pop fly. Tommy Treasure's under it right near second base. He's calling for it. Now Clark comes over and takes it from him for the third out. Well, it was almost a mix-up there, but the Yankees come out of it. Red Sox come up with no runs, 1 hit, 2 men left on, and the score after 7 innings is the Yankees 1, the Red Sox 1.
Well, we've got quite a ball game here, and we're going to have quite a World Series coming up, Bill Kane. I'll tell you how I think the series is going to go, and then you can give me your opinion. Naturally, being an American leaguer, I'm going to pick the Detroit Tigers to win it. And I say that if McLean wins the first game against Gibson, they're going to take 4 straight. If he doesn't, it's going to go the full route, and the Tigers will win it in 7 games.
4 straight.
If McLean can beat Gibson, it takes a lot away from the Cardinals. You know, Bob won 3 games last year.
Well, I'll tell you my thoughts about the series, Phil, as everybody's talking about the pitching and McLean against Gibson and so forth, but I think really it's the hitting that will decide it.
Well, there's no doubt about that, and one thing the Tigers have going for them, they have much more power than the Cardinals.
Yes, and I think McLean will be a lot better off in Busch Stadium. I think that would benefit him more than it would Gibson.
All right, you got it right there from the horse's mouth. Bill Kane, not that Bill's a horse. I mean, that's just a saying. And now we're going to go into the 8th inning. And for the Yankees, it'll be Gibbs, Pepitone, and White. So, Bill Kane, thank you for another great inning.
Well, thank you, Phil, and I'd like to take the opportunity to thank everybody this year connected with the club and the broadcast. It's always a thrill and a privilege to come to a Yankee game and to be able to make a living out of it. You have to feel you're a little lucky.
All right, Bill. And before we get ready for this top of the 8th inning, our buddy Frank Messer has slipped over here. And Frank, who will not be doing any play-by-play on radio unless he wants to do an inning. You know, this is the final day, Frank. And I think you should really do 1 inning. I really do, the last day of the year. How about it, taking it from here?
Okay, Phil, thank you very much. And it's Jake Gibbs leading off.
I know that you want to say goodbye and thank everybody. You can do it during the course of this inning. Anything you want to say?
All right, Phil. 2 balls and no strikes now to Jake. Gibbs is 1 for 3 in this ball game. The reason I came into the booth, Phil, was really to say goodbye for the year to all the good people on our radio network. 2-0 pitch. Ball 3. No, strike call this time by Johnny Stevens. 2 balls and 1 strike. It's been a great year for me. I've appreciated the help that you and Jerry and Bill Kane and Sandy Alper have rendered. And it's just been a real wonderful time for me. Gibbs reached for 1, off-speed pitch, and the count is 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, Frank, it's been great working with you. You've added a little extra to the broadcast, and you fitted right in with the Yankee scheme of things. And let's hope that we can be together for quite a while.
Well, Phil, I'll certainly second that. I hope so, too. 2-2 pitch coming, and Gibbs strikes out. Well, for Ray Culp, it will be strikeout number 6. And the batter now, Joe Pepitone. Pepitone's home run won yesterday's ball game from Boston. Andy Costco hit a home run to tie it up, and Pepitone won it with a homer in the 9th inning. This afternoon, Pepitone has a double in 3 at-bats. He hits 1 deep to right field, but Harrelson has room. Reaches up, one-hands it, and Pepitone is retired. Well, Phil, we talk about Ken Harrelson, we talk about his clothes, and of course the fact that he's had a fine year as a ball player. I think there's one other thing that our listeners should know. Yesterday, on the next to last day of the season, when the ball game was over, Ken Harrelson came out here and took batting practice for, I know, 45 minutes, because he was still taking batting practice when I left the ballpark 45 minutes after the game.
Well, I said it's quite a tribute, and I think he realized that he popped off at the wrong time at a crucial spot in the ball game.
Roy White up there, and the count goes to 1 ball, 1 strike. He took the first pitch for a strike, and the second pitch in the dirt, 1-1.
When I say popped off, I meant to the umpire. Strike had been called on him, and he said something to young Jake O'Donnell that he shouldn't have said, and Jake ejected him from the game. That time the Red Sox were trailing by just 1 run.
2 balls and a strike. Joe Foy in on the grass at third. 2-1 pitch to White. It's high, ball 3. Two outs, nobody on. The windup by Culp. The 3-1 pitch on the way, and White takes it high, ball 4. So Culp gives up his first unintentional walk. Well, the Yankees have a runner at first with Andy Costco coming to bat. Bill, when we issue our thanks on the last day of the season for the fine job everybody has done, we say thank you to the wonderful Yankee fans. Been kind enough to write encouraging letters and to offer criticism, some constructive and some not, but everything we receive is read. Costco looks at a strike.
They're great, no doubt about it.
No balls and a strike to Andy Costco. White leads away from first. Jones holding the inside corner. The pitch by Culp. White goes. Costco hits it up in the air into shallow center. Could be trouble. Back goes Andrews, and it drops in. White around third. He's going to try to score. The throw to the plate. He's saved.
Holy cow, all the way from first on a little thing.
Roy White scoring all the way from first base on a fly ball single into shallow center field. On the throw home, Costco raced on to second, and the Yankees go out in front 2-1. Phil, how about that play?
Oh, that was great. You know what made that play? With White running, Andrews was going over the cover. It was a curveball to Costco. He tried to stop. His feet went out from under him, and it was a twisting fly just in back of second base. And Andrews was way off balance when he picked it up, and his throw didn't have much on it. And Roy White, with that great speed, scored all the way from first base.
Well, the Yankees are out in front now, 2-1. It's a single and a run batted in for Costco. They will walk Tresh intentionally for the second time in this game. Costco goes to second on the throw home. There's ball 2, and Tresh will receive an intentional walk. Well, Phil, we started talking early this spring in the exhibition season about the speed of the Yankees and how it could be a factor this year. And it certainly has been. The Yankees have 87 stolen bases as opposed to 63 last year. And this was another good example. Roy White not getting a stolen base, but scoring from first on a single.
No doubt about it, Frank. The running game upsets the defense every time, and there was a great point to show you just what it did when an infielder has to be moving with a fast man starting to run.
Bill Robinson comes up with runners at first and second and 2 outs. He leans away from a high pitch. 1 ball, no strikes. Top of the 8th inning. Culp throws, gets the corner on the inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Two on, 2 gone. Yankees leading 2-1. The pitch from Culp. Hit high and deep to left field. Yastrzemski, though, thinks he has a shot at it. It's off the wall. Bounces back to Reggie Smith. Costco has scored. Tresh digging hard. He scores. And Robinson stops at second with a double. The Yankees now lead by a score of 4-1. You know, Yastrzemski, Phil, thought he had a play on that ball. That's why it was Smith who had to take the carom.
Right. Carl knew that if he didn't catch it, 2 runs were going to score, and he tried his best. But actually, and I don't like to second-guess managers, but Dick Williams did the same thing last time, and Robinson drove Reggie Smith to the wall in deep left center. And here again, he walked Tresh, who has not been hitting the ball, and Robbie hit one off the wall.
Bobby Cox steps in and takes a pitch inside, ball one. For Bill Robinson, the runs batted in give him 40 for the year. It was his 16th double. Breaking pitch is outside, and the count is 2 balls and no strikes. Looks like Stang and Sparky Lyle up in the Red Sox bullpen. And now they're going to walk Cox intentionally. They pitched to him on the first 2 pitches, went behind 2-0, and now they walk him. The 4th walk and the 3rd intentional walk given up by Ray Culp. Yankees leading 4-1. Runners at first and second. 2 outs, and Stan Bonson moves in. Bonson has struck out 3 times. He swings and misses, strike 1. Bonson has had 4 hits all season. He scored 4 runs, however. Knocked in 3. He takes low, and the count is 1 ball, 1 strike. Bonson would love to get a base hit here and keep this rally alive. 3-run lead is nice, but certainly not insurmountable in this part. There's a strike called, and it's 1-2.
You never feel safe with any kind of a lead here, Frank, till that last out, and the ball game is over.
1-2 pitch coming down to Bonson. Here it is. He swings and misses, strike 3. Runners started to go on that, then they both stopped. The side retired. The Yankees, though, come up with 3 big runs on 2 hits. 2 men are left on base. And now at the end of the top half of the 8th inning, the score is the Yankees 4 and the Red Sox 1.
Well, Frank and I wrapping up the last day of the season. And as we said, as Frank did say, we want to thank everyone who had anything to do with helping us with the broadcast. And we mentioned Bill Kane and Sandy Albert. We don't want to forget Marv Albert, who would slip us good information during the course of the year, Frank.
Said he was a big help. Marv there at the station at WHN in New York does the pre- and post-game shows. And it was very kind of him. And I know sometimes out of a busy schedule, he really went out of his way to get information to us on happenings elsewhere in baseball that we would not have had access to, and therefore would not have been able to pass along to our Yankee Radio Network listeners had it not been for Marv Albert.
Right, Frank. And once again, the Yankees drew over 1 million, and so we give more than 1 million thanks to all you fans who came out to the stadium.
Well, Phil, I want to thank you very much for letting me slip in here for a half inning to say my goodbyes and get the final taste of radio broadcasting for the 1968 season. I'm going to let you and Bill Kane carry it.
Well, I'm glad you came in when you did. You gave us 3 big runs on the scoreboard. Frank, we'll see you during the winter and look forward to next spring.
Okay, Phil, fine. Now that you got those 3 runs, how about hanging on to them?
I'll try. Okay, we go into the bottom of the 8th inning with the Yankees leading 4-1, and it'll be Ken Harrelson against Stan Bonson. Harrelson is struck out, popped to first and single. Here's Bonson's pitch to Harrelson, low and inside, ball 1. Yankees 4, Red Sox 1. Just like in yesterday's ball game when the Yankees came back in the late innings to tie it up and then win it in the 9th. They picked up 3 here in the top of the 8th. High ball 2, 2-0. Lindy McDaniel is up once again in the Yankee bullpen. Reggie Smith on deck. Bonson's 2-0 pitch. Check swing, and Johnny Stevens looks around and says no, he didn't go around. It's ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. And now Tommy Tresh comes in, wants to have a little chat with Stan Bonson.
Pats him on the back, says hang in there. And you know Bonson will. He's been doing it all year. A young rookie having a great year. All right, Stan looks in. Here's his 3-0 pitch to Harrelson. He takes it right in there. Strike one called, 3-1. Outfield deep on Harrelson, just about straight away. Bonson ready for the 3-1 delivery. Swing and a miss, strike two, and he was going for the screen. Full count on Ken Harrelson.
If he goes through the rest of the game without allowing a run, his ERA will wind up at 198.
Nobody out, nobody on here in the bottom of the 8th. Yankees lead 4-1. The windup. The pitch inside. He walked him. That's the 4th walk given up by Bonson. And here's Reggie Smith. Been a thorn in the side of the Yankees all year, and especially today. He doubled a right center in the 2nd, popped a 3rd and a 4th, and single a right center to drive in the Red Sox only run in the 6th inning. Reggie Smith can do it all. Got a great throwing arm. As soon as he learns how to hit that cutoff, man, he's going to be something else. All right, Costco playing in back of Harrelson at first. Infield and double play depth. Pitch to Reggie Smith. Swing and a miss at a low fastball. Strike one. Stan Bonson, along with many other pitchers in the American League, consider Reggie Smith the toughest batter they have to face. The stretch, the pitch, swing and a miss, strike two. So Bonson bearing down a little extra with the tough Reggie Smith up there. Harrelson leading off first base. Bonson kicks, delivers a drive deep to right, but curving foul. Man, that ball was tagged. Way back in the seats. Down the right field line, but foul. Joe Smith swung at 2 fastballs, missed them completely, and got the good wood on that one, but a little bit out in front. On deck, Joey Foy. Bonson's pitch, a curve on the outside corner, strike 3 call. A beautiful pitch by Stan Bonson. He had Reggie Smith leaning, and that's strikeout number 6 for Bonson. And here's Joey Foy, who has flied to center and walked twice. Right now on Yankee Baseball, we pause for station identification.
From WHN News, the Teachers Union Executive Committee is now voting on the announced agreement to end the school strike. If ratified, schools could open tomorrow. Stay tuned to WHN 1050, New York.
Joey Foy, the batter, swings at a high curveball and misses, strike one. On deck, Rico Petrocelli. The Yankees lead 4-1, bottom of the 8th, 1 out. Bonson checks Harrelson. Fastball is on the inside corner, and boy, he had Foy leaning, looking for the breaking pitch, and slipped the fastball by him. 0-2. Bonson ready. Fastball a little bit low. A ball and 2 strikes. He had that one by Foy, too, but just below the knees. Well, Washington defeated Detroit 3-2 in the final game of the year as Lolich and Wilson got their work in for the series. Ground ball is short. Trash bobbles it. Throw to Clark just in time. He had a perfect double play ball, bobbled it, but was able to pick it up and throw to Clark to get Harrelson. Tommy Treasure will be happy to get away from Fenway Park. Tommy has had some rough ball games in this park. For some reason, infielders like other parks better than they like Fenway Park. That's right. Tommy's first game as shortstop this year for the Yankees was right here in Fenway Park, and he made 3 errors. All right, 2 out. Petrocelli the batter. Rico swings deep to left field. It could be gone. And it's off the wall. And Joey Foy, who had slowed up, now has to stop.
Joey Foy thought the ball was gone and started into a slow trot as he got to third. The ball missed being a home run by inches, and then Foy could not score, and Petrocelli's on with a double. Runners at second and third with 2 outs. The wind is not helping balls hit to left field. It is to right field. And that's all that kept that from being a 2-run homer. But Joey Foy, as Dick Williams looks out there, might be in Williams' doghouse again. Every run is a big one, and he could have scored easily had he been hustling all the way. So the ball, that Tresh drop, that should have been a double play, could be costly now to the Yankees. Let's wait and see. Here is Russ Gibson. Single to right, single to left center, and fly to center. The Yankees leading 4-1. A windup by Bonson. Pitch to Gibson. High, ball 1. Red Sox fans have come to life here. Pitch is low, ball 2, and Bonson just flipped that ball in here. Now Gibbs calls time and wants to talk with Bonson. And Floyd Robinson is coming up on deck to bat for Ray Culp. Robinson, a left-hand batter. He's had a pretty good year against the Yankees this year. As a pinch hitter, he's gone 4 for 6, including a game-winning 2-run homer. All right, Bonson winds. Pitch to Gibson. Fouled over the roof, out of play. Two balls and 1 strike. Foy leading off third. Petrocelli off second. Bonson winds. Fastball fouled over the roof and out of play. 2 foul balls in almost the same spot. And the count is even at 2-2 with 2 out and 2 on. The Yankees leading 4-1 in the bottom of the 8th. I'll tell you, since the All-Star break, it's really been great doing the games, broadcasting the games. I know the players have enjoyed them. They've been in just about every ball game. Win or lose, it's been an exciting game right up to the finish. All right, Bonson ready now for the 2-2 pitch to Russ Gibson. He kicks, delivers a curve, line drive, base hit to center field. 2 runs will score. It's a 4-3 ball game now. As Russ Gibson gets his 3rd hit of the ball game. The Yankees 4, the Red Sox 3 with 2 out in the bottom of the 8th. And Ralph House is coming out of the dugout. Remember, we told you Lindy McDaniel has been loosening up. Floyd Robinson is up there swinging a bat. And we're going to have a runner, George Thomas, running for Russ Gibson. And Gibson gets a big hand. 3 base hits, 2 RBIs in this game for Russ Gibson. Red Sox now with 9 hits in the game and 3 runs. The Yankees have 8 hits and 4 runs. And Lindy McDaniel is being called in. And remember, Lindy McDaniel has had even greater success pitching against left-hand batters than he does against right-hand batters. So Floyd Robinson still up there with the bat. And Lindy McDaniel will be coming on. And we can expect a little action in the Red Sox dugout from manager Dick Williams, who was ejected from the ball game yesterday for protesting about McDaniel's style of pitching. So Bonson leaves, and Bonson has worked 7 2/3 innings, allowing 9 hits, 4 walks, 6 strikeouts, and has allowed 3 runs. So Bonson, who had a chance to finish with an earned run average under 2, leaves now with an earned run average of 2.05, and should the runner at first base, George Thomas, running for Russ Gibson, score this inning, it might go up another point or 2. But we'll have to wait and see. Nevertheless, a great rookie year for Stan Bonson. And here's the attendance we've been waiting for. 35,209, and that puts the Yankees over the top. They have drawn more people on the road than any team in the American League, including the Detroit Tigers, the pennant winners. How do you like that? We'll see if we can get an exact total for you of what the Yankees have drawn on the road. There's no doubt that the Yankees always draw real well up here in Fenway Park. The Yankees and the Red Sox have been a natural rivalry for many, many years. So McDaniel will be pitching to Floyd Robinson in the bottom of the 8th, with the Yankees leading 4-3, 2 out, and a runner at first base. And Lindy McDaniel, who has had some kind of a year this year. Robinson steps in as McDaniel, who is a 1.76 earned run average, has won 4, lost 1, and has had 9 saves. All right, George Thomas leading off first. 2 men are out. McDaniel gets the sign. Here's the stretch. Kicks, delivers a curve, bounce foul. Bobby Doerr up with it in a coaching box, strike 1. Here's the total road attendance for the Yankees, 1,343,502 to lead the American League. All right, 1 strike on Floyd Robinson. Left-hand batter. Gibbs loosens up that right arm in case George Thomas might try and steal the base. 2 men are out in the bottom of the 8th. The Yankees now with only a 1-run lead. Stretch by McDaniel. Throw to first, and it looked like Thomas might be going. He got back in time, but he was leaning towards second. Costco holds the bag against George Thomas. Here's the stretch by McDaniel. And the pitch is low and away. 1-1. And it looked like Thomas was going to go that time. But McDaniel kept nodding his head over there and holding Thomas close. I got a hunch he's going to try and steal it if he can get a pretty good jump. Here's the stretch. The pitch. Swing and a foul off the umpire's chest protector. A ball and 2 strikes. The reason we say McDaniel is more effective against left-hand batters, his forkball goes down and away from the left-hand hitters, which makes it difficult to pull. With a right-hand batter, should he miss with it, he can hang one up around belt high and inside on him, and then they can really pull it. All right, McDaniel gets the sign from Gibbs. Here's the stretch. The pitch. Strike 3. He couldn't hold up. He tried to hold up. The bat went out of his hands, and he struck out. A big strikeout by Lindy McDaniel. And for the Red Sox, they come up with 2 runs on 2 hits. No Yankee errors and a man left. And the score at the end of 8 full innings. The Yankees 4, the Red Sox 3. Say, while we're waiting for this exciting game to go on, I'd like to ask all you ladies a question. Are you happy with your kitchen? Take a look around, see if the cabinets are pretty beat up. What about your appliances? And is the whole kitchen designed to save you time and steps? Well, if you'd like to modernize, take your husband on a tour of your kitchen and tell him your problem. If he says that money's a problem, tell him about Bank of Commerce in New York. Bank of Commerce is called the Understanding Bank, because they understand that when people need money for any worthwhile purpose, they need money, not red tape. So if your husband qualifies, Bank of Commerce will lend him up to $5,000 on just his signature. Low bank rates with up to 5 years to repay. Bank of Commerce headquarters is opposite Grand Central. 12 convenient branches. Check the phone book to see which one is nearest your kitchen. You'll find an understanding loan officer at each of them. And when your new kitchen's finished, you'll probably want to ask him for dinner. The big hand you hear is for Elston Howard, who has gone in there now to do the catching. Sparky Lyle has come on to do the pitching. But Elston Howard, and as the papers have said up here, this might be their last chance to see Ellie, and Ellie gets a standing ovation as he comes on to do the catching. What a credit he's been to baseball. while Ellie is loosening up the left-hander Sparky Lyle, we thanked everybody except our producer, Neil Farber, who is sitting alongside of us. Neil, it was good to have you with us the last half of the year. Really enjoyed working with you.
Well, thank you very much, Bill, and what a way to close out the season.
Boy, I tell you, these thrillers will need a whole winter to get over these close ball games we've had all year. Well, there's a fan on the field out there, and he's got a blanket.
He's a bullfighter.
But you know what he's doing? You're right, Neil. He's making believe he's a bullfighter. He's got something written on the piece of cloth that he has there as the ushers come out now, and they're trying to tell him to get off the field peacefully. What does it say? Buffalo? I don't know. Oh, this kid is something else out there, I tell you. It's a jacket, and it's got something on the back of it. And if he turns around, we'll try and see what it is. And he looks like he's just daring the ushers to treat him a little rough. And that's what it says, Buffalo. B-U-F-F-A-L-O in 3 different lines. Oh, this guy's really cutting a pie, turning and waving and bowing. And I think the ushers handle this situation very, very well. They let him get everything out of his system and then just opened the gate and he walked out. And now we can continue with this ball game. And fans should realize how important a ball game this is for both clubs. For the Yankees, Horace Clark, who has singled twice, takes the pitch low, ball 1. He's also bounced out to the pitcher and bounced to first. Yankees lead 4-3, top of the 9th. Sparky Lyle winds. The pitch, a ground ball is short. Petrocelli gets the big hop. Throw to first in time. And Rico still lobbing that ball over to first base. And it's really a crime to see him throw that way. He's got one of the strongest throwing arms in baseball when his arm is healthy. Here is Jake Gibbs. Jake singled, bounced to first, bounced to short, and struck out. Pitch by Lyle, a fly ball to shallow left field. Coming hard, Petrocelli, and in fair territory, just makes the catch. Almost ran into Joey Foy, but Foy put on the brakes just in time. So it's 2 out, and here is Pepitone. And Pepe is really being greeted. Has a little chat with Elston Howard now, his old buddy. Joe is struck out, double to right, line to short, and fly to right. And once again, we have a couple of youngsters running across the field. And they don't have to hop the fence. They will be escorted out of the ballpark. 2 out, nobody on. And the fans are booing the youngsters, not the ushers. They don't like to see anything like this happen in an important ball game like this. And now they're holding it up as a couple of the officers have to get back into the stands. They're walking along the running track and will go into the seats down the right field line. So Sparky Lyle takes the time to throw a couple more to Elston Howard. Atlanta beat the Dodgers 2-1 on Hank Aaron's 29th homer of the year with a man on. That's a big ball game. Atlanta battling, I believe, for 4th or 5th place in the National League. All right, here's the pitch to Pepitone. Joe tries to bunt, fouls the ball off his leg, strike 1. Yes, they're battling for 5th place with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Oh, they went into the game exactly tied. So that's a big game for Atlanta.
There's a foul off the end of the bat. Strike 2 to Pepitone. All right, 2 strikes on Pepe. 2 out, nobody on. The Yankees leading 4-3 in the top of the 9th. Lyles pitch, swing and a miss. He struck Pepitone out on 3 pitches. The Yankees go down in order, and after 8.5 innings, it's the Yankees 4 and the Red Sox 3. So we'll be coming up to this final inning. And Lindy McDaniel will have to do the job that he's been doing all year. And Bill Kane shows me an interesting statistic on McDaniel. Lindy yesterday retired 9 straight batters as he picked up his 4th win. If you remember when Lindy McDaniel was acquired from the Giants back on July 13th for Bill Monbouquet, the Yankees at that time had won 38 and lost 43 and were in 8th place. And since then, the club has won 44 and lost 36. And McDaniel has been instrumental in many, many of those wins, whether winning the ball game or saving it. Remember, at one point, he retired 32 consecutive batters, and that tied an American League record. And we'll have to see if Lindy is up to it here in a tough bottom of the 9th inning. So this is it. As our old buddy Joe Garagiola used to say, the 3 toughest outs in baseball. When you have a 1-run lead and you're coming to the bottom of the 9th inning. And it'll be the top of the order. Andrews, Jones, and Yastrzemski. Andrews is 1 for 4. He singled in the 6th inning. The Yankees lead 4-3 here in the bottom of the 9th. All right, Lindy McDaniel into the windup. Pitch to Andrews, a little bit low, ball 1. Dick Williams on the steps of the dugout, really looking at Lindy McDaniel. He winds. Pitch, a foul to the left of the plate, 1-1. Nobody leaving this ballpark, as you can see, with just a 1-run lead in the bottom of the 9th. And a chance to see Yastrzemski bat for the last time, possibly this year. The windup, the pitch, a ground ball hit to short. Tresh, big hop, fires to first just in time. They got him, and it's 1 out. 1 away, and here's Dalton Jones, who's 1 for 4, singled in the 7th. Dalton Jones, and on deck, Carl Yastrzemski. So McDaniels has pitched to 2 men and gotten them both out. Robinson pinch hitting in the 8th. Andrews leading off here in the 9th. And Jones takes the strike on the outside corner. Yankees 4, Red Sox 3, bottom of the 9th. McDaniel winds. The pitch is low, 1-1. Jones chokes up about an inch on the bat. The pitch fouled back into the crowd, out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, nobody on. Lindy winds. The pitch is low, and the count is even at 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. The windup. The pitch is high, and it's ball 3, a full count. A full count on Dalton Jones. McDaniel winds. The pitch bounced to first base. Costco up with it, flips to McDaniel in time, and it's 2 away. And now one of the biggest outs of the year. Coming down to the final game of the year, and who is it but Carl Yastrzemski? Right now, Yastrzemski is batting at .301. If he gets a hit, he'll finish the year at .302. If he doesn't get a hit, he'll finish the year at .300.5, which is a half point under .301, but he'll still be over 300. All right, 2 out, nobody on. 4-3, the Yankees lead. The pitch to Yaz, swing and a miss, strike 1. He went fishing for that fork ball that time. Time is called. Something was thrown out on the field. Pepitone picks it up, flips it back in the Red Sox bullpen. All right, 1 strike on Yaz. What a finish to what a year in baseball. McDaniel winds. The pitch is high, 1-1. Time is called. Something was thrown out on the field. Pepitone picks it up, flips it back in the Red Sox bullpen. All right, 1 strike on Yaz. What a finish to what a year in baseball. McDaniel winds. The pitch is high, 1-1. One ball, 1 strike, 2 out. Outfield deep on Yastrzemski. McDaniel's pitch, swing and a miss at a fork ball, strike 2. A ball and 2 strikes. Yastrzemski steps out of the batter's box, gets a little dirt. McDaniel looks in for the sign from Gibbs. The fans on the edge of their seats. Here's the windup, the pitch. Strike 3, swinging. Holy cow, what a job by Lindy McDaniel, and Ralph Houk going out to shake his hand, and what a job he did. And the Yankees have to finish in 5th place, either all alone or in a tie with Oakland. The final score of the ball game, the Yankees 4 and the Red Sox 3.
Yourself in your own mirror as others see you. And that's the beauty of letting Bond suit you so naturally that your first look in the store mirror becomes a
People who brew Pabst know enough to leave a good thing alone. Blue Ribbon is still brewed the old-time premium way to give you good old-time flavor in every glass. Original Pabst Blue Ribbon, a great glass of beer. So if you really like beer, there's only one to buy. Original Pabst Blue Ribbon, brewed by the first of the great Milwaukee brewers, here at popular prices.
Okay, let's go down to the field now with Frank Messer, who has Ralph Houk and President Michael Burke on a very happy occasion.
Well, it's been a fine finish to a good year, and it wasn't a pennant-winning year, but doggone it, here are 2 gentlemen that are very happy about it. Ralph Houk, congratulations on the finish of the club in 5th place and a real good season.
Thank you very much, Frank, but it's the players that deserve all the credit. They did a real good job, as you know, and Lindy was really great yesterday and today, and that did it for us.
He's been such a big difference to this club, hasn't he?
That's right, Frank. He's done a great job, and of course, Robbie's starting to hit the second half helped us a lot, too, along with all the other things that have happened.
Well, Ralph, now I'm sure you'll be going out to the World Series and different meetings, and then what are your plans for the winter?
Well, around the 1st of November, I'm going to get the fishing rods out again.
So to forget about baseball for a couple of weeks?
That's right, Frank.
Ralph, when will you start looking ahead to next year?
Well, I imagine tomorrow.
Well, Ralph, I know you want to get in with the players on the last day of the season. Ralph did say he would stay out here with us just a few seconds, but he wants to get in the clubhouse. So, Ralph, thank you very much, and congratulations again on the year.
Thank you, Frank.
Now, let's keep Mike Burke right here with us for a few minutes. Mike, you know how it is with a manager on the last day of the year, and the players won a big ball game for him, and I can understand why Ralph wanted to get in. Mike, how do you feel about the season?
Well, I couldn't be more happy unless we'd won the pennant, Frank. I think winning this game was just an enormous thrill. I can't imagine ever being any happier as a Yankee. coming from ninth place, as the club did last year, right into the first division now. And the thrilling thing to me is that the kids that did it, the Stan Bonsons, the Roy Whites, the Billy Robinsons, these are the kids that deliver, and delivered today and delivered all this year, and particularly the last half of the season. And these are the kids on whom our future is built.
Well, Mike, I heard you say that last year, and I know you have to be happy from that aspect of it. As we look ahead to next year, well, it's just hard to say with the expansion and everything. How do you feel about that phase?
Oh, we feel very confident now, particularly the way the kids played from the second half of this season. And they showed us a lot of guts right after that terrible homestand we had in the first week or 10 days in August, when we lost 8 out of 10 ball games. They turned right around, and on the road trip won 8 out of the next 11 games. Then went into that long stretch of winning 29 out of 39. And this showed me some kind of guts. And I think this is the stuff that this club is made out of, again, especially the youngsters. And we've got 2 or 3 or 4 more boys coming along that'll be joining this club from the minor leagues. Bobby Mercer back from the Army. Mike, so we have a reason for being optimistic next year.
Mike, we didn't have a chance to do this in New York. Just quickly, the new image the club has created, as you look around the stands at Yankee Stadium and see the young fans out there, it makes me feel good.
Well, it makes us feel awfully good. The fans have been really tremendous this year, and their enthusiasm has been infectious, you know, and it infects the players and all of us, and we're thrilled, and we want to thank them immensely for their wonderful support.
Mike, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure for me to be with you this year, and I hope it continues for a long, long time.
I'm sure it will, Frank. Nice to be with you.
And now back upstairs to Jerry.
Well, there it is. Manager Ralph Houck, President Michael Burke, and what a thrilling day for the Yankees, as they are assured of at least a 5th place tie, depending on the outcome of the Minnesota-Oakland game. If Oakland wins it, they'll tie for 5th. If Oakland loses it, they've got it all by themselves. For the Yankees, 4 runs, 8 hits, and no errors. For the Red Sox, 3 runs, 9 hits, and no errors. The winning pitcher, Stan Bonson, his record 17-12, and a good shot at that Rookie of the Year honors. Lindy McDaniel came up with his 10th save to give it to Bonson. The loser, Ray Culp, his record now 16-6. So that was it. The Yankees, 3 runs in the 8th inning, put them across, and they won it by a score of 4-3. And now this is Jerry Coleman for the final time, and for Phil Rizzuto, and for Frank Messer. For all of our gang, hoping that you've enjoyed the 1968 campaign. For Neil Farber, Chuck Milton, Tom Miller, all of the broadcast crew, Jack Murphy, Jimmy Hunter, Don Carney, saying so long for another year. Final score once again, the Yankees 4 and the Red Sox 3. You've been watching Yankee Baseball from Boston, brought to you by American Airlines Chicago Jet Express, on the hour from LaGuardia, on the half hour from Newark. And by the General Cigar Company, makers of Tipperillo and new Tipperillo M with menthol. And by original Pabst Blue Ribbon beer, brewed by the first of the great Milwaukee brewers. And by Con Edison, a company that's committed to cleaner fuels, cleaner skies, and the whole idea of clean energy. Baseball champions need raw power.
To our arithmetic, that is not official, and that will be the lowest average ever to lead a league in batting in the major leagues. Carl Yastrzemski at an even 300. 4 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Yanks. The Red Sox, 3 runs, 9 hits, and no errors. So the Yankees clinch at least a tie for 5th. They have won 83. They have lost 79. The A's right now are 82 and 79. They are a half game out. If they beat the Twins, they'll finish in a tie for 5th. If they lose to the Twins, the Yankees will be all alone in 5th place with the A's in 6th. For the Red Sox, it is a disappointing finish. People were saying, hey, it's pretty good even with all the injuries. The Sox Sox finished third, but they had to take 2 of 3 from the Yankees to do it, and they failed. The Yankees taking the 2 out of 3 from the Red Sox, so the Red Sox finish in fourth, a half game behind the Indians, who end the season with 1 less game played. The Red Sox finish with a record of 86 and 76, 17 and a half games out. That's the story up at Fenway Park in Boston, and we'll run down the rest of the baseball in just a moment. You know, after a man's been on the field for a couple of hours, you can bet that he's looking forward to a good cold shower and getting dressed up and relaxing. And that's when a lot of players like Willie Mays and manager Ralph Houck put on a pair of Suppose socks. And I think that Ralph can tell it even better.
Hi, this is Ralph Houck. There's something about Suppose socks that makes you look great. Maybe it's their patented two-way rib, or maybe it's the way they make you feel better. Whatever it is, Suppose makes you look as good as you feel. And Suppose comes in a wide variety of dress-up colors, an entire wardrobe of them. Take my word for it, wear Suppose socks, you'll love them.
So if you're the kind of guy who moves around a lot, a busy guy, then Suppose socks are for you. As Ralph said, their patented two-way rib make you look and feel great. Go in and ask for a pair of Suppose socks, and maybe you'll bump into Ralph Houck when you do. Regular and lightweight Suppose socks are available at B. Altman and other fine stores. And we're pleased to say that Suppose socks will be bringing you the Ivy League football scoreboard following every broadcast of the Ivy League Game of the Week right here on WHN. And that will begin next Saturday afternoon with Columbia at Princeton, followed by the scoreboard. Elsewhere in baseball, out at Oakland, the Twins and A's are underway. The Twins are batting in the first, and it is Jim Merritt against Jim Nash. Merritt and Nash, Twins hitting in the first inning. We have no score to report on. At Detroit, the Senators, with an unearned run in the ninth inning, beat the Tigers by a score of 3-2. The run coming home on an error committed by second baseman Dick McAuliffe. Barry Moore won it with help from Dennis Higgins in the ninth inning. Moore is now 4-6. Pat Dobson lost it in relief, his record now at 5-8. So the Tigers finish up with a record of 103-59, and now they think about Wednesday in game number 1 at St. Louis. Senators over the Tigers 3-2. At Anaheim, White Sox and Angels not yet underway. It should be Gary Peters against Clyde Wright. In the National League at Shea, the Phillies are batting in the ninth inning, and they are having a big ninth inning. Richie Allen has just hit a grand slam home run, and that is his third home run of the ball game. Hit one out of the sixth with one on, again in the eighth with nobody on, and home run number 33 with the bases full in the ninth. So the Phillies still batting lead the Mets by at least 9-3 behind Chris Short, who is after win number 19. Tom Seaver, the Mets starter, Kuntz in the eighth, and Short in the ninth. At St. Louis, and this a game that the Mets are very concerned about. Yesterday, the Mets clinched at least a tie for ninth, and had the Astros, or should the Astros, beat the Cardinals this afternoon, the Astros would have a shot at finishing in a tie for 9th and 10th place with the Mets, should the Mets lose to the Phillies. Dean Lewis is trying to figure it out. He has all the possibilities down. But the Astros right now not in very good shape, because the Cardinals came up with 9 runs in the second, and they lead Houston by a score of 11-1. St. Louis batting in the bottom of the 7th inning. So even if the Mets lose to the Phillies at Shea, if the Cardinals go ahead and beat the Astros, and they are in front by a commanding margin, the Mets will still finish all by themselves in 9th place. Mike Cuellar started for Houston. Justy in the second, LeMaster in the third, Bazart in the fifth. Ray Washburn, the St. Louis starter, with Jaster coming on in the sixth. Jimmy Wynn hit number 26 in the first inning with nobody on, and Julian Javier had a home run for the Cardinals in the fourth with nobody on. At Chicago in the bottom of the 7th, the Cubs at bat. Pirates and Cubs are tied at 3-3. Bob Veal, the Pittsburgh starter, Ellis coming on in the 7th. Billy Hand started for the Cubs with Regan in the 7th inning. Willie Stargell hit one out in the 5th with nobody on, and Ron Sano in the 6th inning with one on for Sano, number 26. At Cincinnati in the bottom of the 8th inning, the Reds behind Jim Maloney lead the Giants by a score of 2-0. Ray Sadecki started for the Giants with Joe Gibbon coming on in the 8th. Reds 2, Giants nothing. The Reds batting in the 8th inning. And at Atlanta, on a 2-run home run by Henry Aaron in the 6th inning for Aaron, number 29, the Braves beat the Dodgers 2-1. 6-hitter pitched by Phil Niekro. He finishes up at 14-12. Bill Singer, who came on for the starter Alan Foster in the 5th inning, is the losing pitcher. Singer's record now at 13-17. Final again, the Braves 2 and the Dodgers 1. Also in the National League today, the batting championship still very much on the line. Going into today's play, Pete Rose was at .335, Matty Alou at .334. Rose had the 5 hits yesterday. Alou had 4, so all will depend on how each make out this afternoon. That's it in baseball. We'll take a look at the complete football rundown right after this from Household Finance.